Interscholastic League. Regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, all of the players have proven their willingness to work and sacrifice in order to achieve athletic excellence.
Special welcome to our YouTube live watchers. We're joining the game early as the homecoming court will be announced in just a moment. The regular schedule said that they would be announced and started 5 minutes ago, but been some sort of delay. The homecoming court is entering the far side of the field, so we'll listen to the PA announcer for the introduction of the homecoming court when they make their way to the field.
Cheerleading squad. Emily Atkinson. Claire Bobby. Emily Clayton. Jasmine Galvin. Speed. Katie Tiemeyer. Allison Peckham. Melissa Eisenhood. Tia Nash. Vanessa Wayne. Jaden Harper. Miley Fisher. Madeline Sherman, Jayla Aislinn, Brooklyn Shackelford, Jillian Jumper, Maddie Bridges, and mascot Colby Glenn. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. I now present to you the 2021-2022 homecoming court of Sulphur Springs High School. Haven Walker Moore. Haven is the 17-year-old daughter of Dave and Shanika Moore. She has attended Sulphur Springs schools for 13 years. Haven is a member of Key Club, Health Occupation Students of America, and High King Club. She is also captain of the Sulphur Springs Blue Blazes. After high school, she plans to attend Prairie View A&M University to dance, then pursue her dreams on becoming a flight attendant. Tonight, Haven's escorts are her parents, Dave and Shanika Moore. Williams. Hannah is the 17-year-old daughter of Michelle and the late James Williams. She has attended Sulphur Springs High School for 12 years. Hannah is a member of Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America and the drill team. After high school, she plans to attend Grand Canyon University with a major in sociology and psychology. Hannah is escorted tonight by her mom, Ms. Michelle Williams. Victoria Macias. Victoria is the 17-year-old daughter of Jose and Stephanie Macias. She has attended Sulphur Springs schools for 12 years. Victoria is a member of Key Club, Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, and a member of the Yearbook Club. After high school, she plans to attend Tyler Junior College with a major in law enforcement. Tonight, Victoria is escorted by her parents, Jose and Stephanie Macias. Janiyah Gatlin. Janiyah is the 17-year-old daughter of Natalie Gatlin and the niece of Shante Hall. She has attended Sulphur Springs schools for 13 years. I is a member of Key Club, Strategic Planning Committee, third-year Health Occupation Students of America officer, Sulphur Springs Blue Blaze Senior Sergeant, and serves as president of High King Club. She's also involved in UIL academics and practicum of health science theory. After high school, Janiyah plans to attend Grambling State University to obtain a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Tonight, her escorts are her mom, Natalie Gatlin, and her uncle, Shante Hall. Allie Hinton. Allie is the 18-year-old daughter of Trey and Andy Hinton. She has attended Sulphur Springs schools for 13 years. Allie is a member of Key Club, Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, and 4-H. She also attends the Way Bible Church. After high school, she plans to attend college and major in business. Allie's favorite Bible verse is 1 Corinthians 16:14. Let all you do be done in love. Tonight, Allie is escorted by her parents, Mr. Trey and Ms. Andy Hinton. Katie T-Meyer. Katie is the 17-year-old daughter of Jeff and Amy T-Meyer. She has attended Sulphur Springs schools for 13 years. Katie is the Sulphur Springs High School varsity cheer captain, a member of National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, Health Occupation Students of America, Key Club, Hopkins County Leadership, and serves at the Way Bible Church Kids Department every Sunday and Wednesday. After high school, Katie plans to attend Texas A&M Commerce with a major in nutritional science. Katie is escorted tonight by her parents, Jeff and Amy T-Meyer. Desiree Hall. Desiree is the 17-year-old daughter of Yolanda and Wyzinski Skeet Hall. She has attended Sulphur Springs schools for 8 years. Desiree is a member of Key Club, Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, Future Farmers of America, historian and photographer of High King Club. She's also a senior sergeant of the Sulphur Springs Blue Blazes. After high school, she plans to attend Prairie View A&M University with a major in interior design. Today, Desiree escorts all her parents, Skeet and Yolanda Hall. Kayana is the 17-year-old daughter of Byron Redmond and Selena Gibbons. She has attended Sulphur Springs schools for 13 years. Kayana is a member of Key Club, Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, and Health Occupation Students of America. After high school, she plans to attend Prairie View A&M University with a major in nursing. Tonight, Kayana is escorted by her mother, Selena Gibbons, and her brother, Elroy Gibbons Jr. Riley is the 17-year-old daughter of Keith and Tracy Penny. She's attended Sulphur Springs High School for 4 years. Riley is a member of Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, Key Club, the International Thespian Society, and is a certified firefighter through the Sulphur Springs High School Firefighter EMT program. After high school, she plans to attend the University of Texas at Tyler with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Tonight, she is escorted by her parents, Mr. Keith and Ms. Tracy Penn. Lindsay Chacon. Lindsay Chacon is the 17-year-old daughter of Jose Martin and Tomasa Chacon. She has attended Sulphur Springs schools for 13 years. Lindsay is a member of Rhapsody Choir, Student Council, Key Club, Yearbook staff, and is the Vice President of the class of 2022. She's also involved in the Hopkins County Leadership Class, National Technical Honor Society, and is Treasurer of the National Honor Society. After high school, Lindsay plans to attend Texas University. Tonight, Lindsay is escorted by her parents, Mr. Jose Martin and Ms. Tomasa Chacon. Harley Tate Speed. Harley is the 17-year-old daughter of Dustin and Serena Speed. She's attended Sulphur Springs schools for 13 years. Harley's a member of Varsity Cheer, RILA, Hopkins County Leadership, Key Club, HOSA, Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Rage Student Ministries, Yearbook, Sulphur Springs Competitive Dance Team, founder of Sisterhood Middle School Girls Ministry, Student Council Vice President. After high school, she plans to attend Texas A&M Commerce with a major in education in hopes of being an elementary teacher and motivational speaker. Harley was escorted tonight by her parents, Dustin and Serena Speed. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the 11 young ladies which the senior class of 2022 has nominated for homecoming court. After a vote by the entire student body, 2 princesses and a queen were chosen. Named 2021-2022 homecoming princess is Lindsay Chacon. Also named 2021 and 2022 homecoming princess is Hannah Williams. And finally, the 2021-2022 homecoming queen for Sulphur Springs High School is Allie Hinton. Ladies and gentlemen, let's together congratulate Hallie Hinton and all these young ladies that participated in tonight's homecoming court. The princess and queen received bouquets tonight from high school assistant principal Mr. Steve Carter, and they each were crowned by student body president Tyler Warner. The Sulphur Springs High School Student Council would like to say thanks to Ms. Lydia Bryant and her staff at Sulphur Springs Floral for the lovely flower donations that were used tonight. Ms. Bryant generously donated the ivy plants and the princesses and queens bouquets, as well as the roses received by the nominees. We'd like to take this time to show our appreciation for all that's been done here tonight. Once again, thanks to Ms. Bryant and staff.
And welcome to another night of Wildcat football here on KSST. I'm Chad Young, and in the booth with me, of course, the play-by-play guru, Ross Labansky, which we're coming to you from Gerald Prim Stadium as they wrap up the homecoming presentation where Hallie Hinton has won homecoming queen and backed up by princesses Litzy Chacon and Hannah Williams. So those festivities are just exiting the field, and we've got another night of Wildcat football, a very close game last week, but now let's see what the Wildcats can put together as they will match up against the Crandall Pirates this week at Gerald Prim Stadium. A nice night for football, still a little warm outside, about 87 degrees, no wind in sight right now. And Ross, what are we looking at for this week's game?
Well, it should be a good one, as both of these teams will be in their district openers. Of course, as we mentioned previously, this is homecoming as well, so it should be a great game between these two teams. The Crandall Pirates come into this game 2-1 overall coming into district, and were able to put up 50-plus points in their two victories to start the season. Again, that's 2 of 3 that they have won. They won their season opener versus Jacksonville in Crandall, 51-36, and then lost 2 weeks ago in Kaufman. And just like the Wildcats football team, as you heard during our pregame pregame production, it also, just like this game against Sulphur Springs, came down to the last drive in which the Kaufman Lions were able to pull out the game and the victory versus the Pirates.
Kaufman seems to be very good at that lately, those last-minute drives or at the end of the game, it seems.
Yes, you're right, Chad, and that's just something that, and Coach Offensive Coordinator Matt Young said that during our coaches show last Saturday, that sometimes a team just adopts that identity and they just run with it, and the Kaufman Lions, they have done exactly that. But the Crandall Pirates were able to get back on the winning track when they won versus Alvarado last week in an offensive explosion with plenty of fireworks as they beat Alvarado 68-42. So again, they come into this district opener for both teams 2-1. The Wildcats football team, it's been a bit opposite for them as they lost their season opener by 30 to the Frisco High Raccoons, also on August 27th, and then 2 weeks ago, they were in Lucas taking on the Lovejoy Leopards, and we saw exactly what a team with state championship aspirations looks like. And as the Wildcats lost big in that game, then last weekend, just like the Crandall Pirates, challenged the Kaufman Lions all the way to the end of the game, but unfortunately just could not pull it out in the end, and that dropped the Wildcats football team to 0-3 heading into district play tonight versus the Crandall Pirates.
Yeah, just a heartbreaker last week, and hopefully the Wildcats have made some adjustments. Some really big plays in that last game, and they just played very well. I think obviously the closest scoring game of the season so far, so we can call that the best game of the season so far. And I don't think any changes in the lineup this week. Is there, Ross? I guess the roster on both offense and defense for the Wildcats is kind of looking the same?
Looks to be so.
And what about the Crandall Pirates? They just don't have as big of a squad when we look at the roster for them as some of the teams that we have seen in the past. But kind of secretive. The coach hard to get a hold of this week, I understand, for you, Ross. And so we've got a scouting report, and we kind of don't know what we're up against this week.
Well, we're up against a very talented quarterback in Jamonte Gordon-West, a quarterback who championed the Pirates last year. And if for many of you listeners, as we've got the national anthem coming up, speak more on that here in just a moment. I'm sorry, this is the school song.
Pretty good crowd here for homecoming night.
A wonderful rendition of the Crandall fight song performed by their very own pirate band who made the trip out from Crandall today.
With 7 tubas, I count, on the back row over there. Near and dear to your heart, Ross.
Of course, the low brass is just the way to be, unquestionably.
That's right. And now the Wildcat.
As always, of the Wildcat fight song of Sulphur Springs, but as I was mentioning here, and I'll get a little chance to talk about it before we go into the national anthem, Crandall Pirate team that has a lot of returning key pieces in quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West, running back Chris Abram, and a wide receiver, Samuel Omosigo, who many Wildcats fans will remember from last year, and the Wildcats' 72-44 win in Crandall last year. So talked to both coaches and was asking if maybe they were expecting another offensive shootout, and naturally, defensive coordinator for the Wildcats football team, Kurt McCain, said he's hoping for a 7-0 victory. Right. Exactly what you'd expect to hear from a defensive coordinator, but talking with the PA announcer before we came in, and again, this is a high-flying Pirate football team that, again, has scored 50-plus in their 2 victories, 2 of 3 games they've played this year, and should just be, if the Wildcats' defensive backfield can limit such a high-potent, high-flying offense, then maybe, just maybe, these Wildcats may have a chance.
Well, it just, you know that the team is really looking to improve every week, and they certainly improved from 2 weeks ago to last week, and really ran some good plays and had some big plays, and the special teams were really on point, as well as the defense. And of course, it takes the whole team, offense, defense, special teams. It takes everybody to win a game, and I think they're coming together and coming into their own, and we'll see what they've got in store for us tonight as the Wildcats line up under the big helmet at the north end of the field, and as well as the Crandall Pirates are lining up over on their side of the field to come out of their I guess that's just a tunnel that they've got over there. It's not a big helmet. What would you call that, Ross?
Tunnels, right?
Yep, there's some big tunnel with a big C on it, so there you go. And so it looks like the Wildcats are going to come out first. So here they come with the flag to, and a good crowd here tonight. I'd say the biggest, obviously the biggest crowd we've seen so far is stands are pretty full. I don't see a lot of moms for homecoming. Something from years past, I guess. I saw a few, but not like what we would have seen maybe 15 or 20 years ago. There's one right there. Yeah. So probably 450 people on the home side for the Wildcats. Maybe 60 people over on the Crandall side so far. So. Not many fans on the Crandall side making the drive. There's still some coming into the parking lot. Coach Owens out this week for your coaches meeting, but you met with the offensive and defensive coordinators, correct, Ross? With trying to get them ready for the game, or or them getting you ready. I'm not sure which one.
Yes, and they definitely echoed some of the statements you made earlier, Chad. Just overall a much better effort as the Wildcats make their way onto the field, holding that big old flag. I believe that is big old number 65 for the Wildcats.
Yep.
And that's Jacoby Yarbrough, the senior, and a pivotal part of the Wildcats offensive line and plays defensive line as well. But yeah, should be a good contest between these two teams, especially after this Wildcat football team saw that they can hang with a pretty good team last week in the Kaufman Lions, and that's again a Kaufman Lion team that won the state 7-on-7 tournament earlier this summer. So just like you were saying, Chad, earlier, if they keep on showing improvement, keep on growing week to week as we've seen the last 2 weeks, if they can't pull out the win tonight and get their first win on the fall 2021 season, maybe perhaps it could come here in the next few games.
Yes, and of course what I'm looking forward to is some new plays, some trick plays, more onside kicks. I just love all that stuff, Ross, and the team last week, Kaufman, they surprised me. They ran up to the ball just about every kickoff for the fake onside kick, and I've never seen that. Really, a fake onside kick, and certainly not used so much as what they use. I bet they did it, 4 or 5 times. So, just strange to me. And here comes the national anthem, I believe.
That's the flag on the south end of the field. Our invitation has already been given this evening by senior Matthew Sherman. Our national anthem will be done by the Silver Springs High School Band under the direction of Spencer Emmert.
beautiful rendition, as always, of the Star-Spangled Banner here at Gerald Prim Stadium as we are about set to get this game underway between the Wildcats football team and the Crandall Pirates. Let's get through this Crandall Pirate offense here. They are led by QB Jamonte Gordon-West, who I mentioned earlier was the quarterback who was in charge of this Pirate team last year, who did lose to the Wildcats football team last year, 72-44, but a great game, no doubt. And running backs, they've got Chris Abram, Andrew Anderson, wide receivers Josh Smith, Luke Moffitt, and Samuel Omosigo, tight end J.D. Niedzwecki, and then offensive lineman for the Crandall Pirates is Dorian Maple, at left tackle, left guard Trevor Wood, center Titus Daugherty, and right guard Travion Young, and then finally right tackle Dylan Burns. On defense, they are led by defensive lineman Cade Bleakney, Tyson Cameron, and Brendan Wilkerson. At linebacker, they've got Samuel Omosigo, Drew Jackson, Guy Turner, and Aiden Ross. And then in the defensive backfield, they've got Elijah James, Case Mumphrey, Philip Olivares, and Kendrick Jones. The Crandall Pirates football team are led by head coach Kyle Harden. And then for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats, starting on offense, you've got, of course, quarterbacks Matthew Mitchell and Brady Driver. Driver will not be playing in this game as he's still rehabbing his injury that he acquired in the Lovejoy game. But running backs, they've got J.J. Hall, Douglas Deloney, and Malachi Rowland. At wide receiver, they've got Landon Fields, Luke Caton at tight end. And then on the other side, they've got slot wide receiver C.J. Williams, and on the outside, Weston Fields. And then on the offensive line for the Wildcats is left tackle Drew Hodges, left guard Sean Dial, center Jacoby Yarbrough, right guard Josh Sutton, and right tackle Connor West. And then on defense, you've got tackle Nick Cantillo, nose Brighton Reuter, other tackle Carson Fenton. And then at linebackers, you've got Jaquan Jones, Griffin Crawford, Braden Morris, and Douglas Deloney. And then the defensive backfield for the Wildcats is Colby Albritton, Riley Hammonds, Cordarian Bull Turner, and Colt Silman. And of course, as you know, the Wildcats football team are led by head football coach and athletic director here in Sulphur Springs, Greg Owens.
Yes, and as you're reading the roster, the coin has been tossed, and the Crandall Pirates have won the toss. They've chosen to defer the kickoff, so until the second half. So that means the Wildcats will be receiving the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff here at the first of the game, and a couple of captains that came out during that coin toss. Matt Sherman with not suited up to play, as well as Josh Tavera. So both of them looks like that they're not going to be playing in the game, but they were out there to represent their team as captains. Back to receive the kickoff back for the Wildcats. I believe I've got number 1 down there and number 6 for you, Ross.
Yep, that's returners as always. Number 1, Weston Fields, and number 6, Colby Albritton.
And they're back. They'll be moving right to left on your radio dial tonight as the kickoff from the Pirates comes up.
And homecoming is underway here as number 7, Riley Hammonds, takes it on the far sideline. He makes it about 5 yards out of bounds before being pushed out before the 40-yard line of the Wildcats football team. So the Wildcats will start the ball on their own side of the field, but pretty close to midfield at their own about 40-yard line, maybe 35.
Yeah, not a bad place for them to start off and have their very first Hooten's Hardware first down here for the Wildcats as they start on the, looks like they marked it on the 37-yard line. It's 1st and 10.
So we'll see what the Wildcats offense can do on the first play from scrimmage. Again, in at quarterback is number 10, Matthew Mitchell. Brady Driver is not suited up for this game as hands it off to, or fakes the handoff to Malachi Rowland, and he sweeps left. He gets it. He tries to get it out to number 46, Carson Fenton, but instead it kind of bounces off his hands, and C.J. Williams almost looks like he might have had a chance to come down with the ball, but instead it reverts incomplete.
Oh, that'll make it 2nd down, 2nd and 10, 37. Just started the game here, 0-0, 11:20 on the clock. Getting things rolling. Welcome to everyone that's tuning in to KSST for Wildcat football.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Matthew Mitchell set to get the snap. Malachi Rowland in the backfield, fakes the handoff, gets out to C.J. Williams on the outside on the screen. He's got it. He goes past the 50. He makes an athletic move. He's all the way up to breaks another tackle, and he's all the way to the Crandall 45 before he was taken down by at least 3 Crandall defensive men.
What a great second and third effort there, Ross, as he moved that about, 15, 16 yards on that reception.
Yeah, it does appear so. That was, again, back at the Wildcat 37-yard line, and the ball has moved all the way up to about the Crandall 45. So about, 18-yard reception there for C.J. Williams. And then on the jet sweep, he hands it off to Malachi Rowland, who's sweeping left on the near sideline. He's all the way up to the Crandall 35 before being pushed out of bounds, getting about another, 11 yards on the rush. So a 1st and 10 will become another 1st and 10.
Well, so another Hooten's Hardware 1st 10 as the Wildcats march down well inside Pirate territory, as they're going to be marked on the 34-yard line.
And again, with the Wildcats moving the football, they are playing a Crandall team that has given up at least 27 points in all 3 of their games, as Matthew Mitchell set to get the snap. And he hands it off to Malachi Rowland, who goes straight up the gut and doesn't get much room there, as he's immediately taken down by at least 3 defensive linemen for Crandall for about a 2-yard gain on 1st down.
Still a good run, and he's just really playing with a lot of effort down there. Malachi seems to be really giving that 2nd and 3rd effort, especially on that big play. He just kept spinning and carried a couple of tacklers with him for a few more yards.
Absolutely, and it's great to see Malachi Rowland become kind of the premier back after J.J. Hall has been working his way back to the team. We saw a lot of him last week in the loss at Kaufman. He fakes the handoff. C.J. Williams gets the snap, and the Wildcat, he breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, breaks another tackle, breaks some more, 20, 15, makes an athletic move, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 10-yard line for Crandall. Wow, a 22-yard rush for C.J. Williams.
Wow, what a great play as he took the snap. I just love the way Coach Owens changes things up. He had the opportunity a couple of weeks ago with a couple of different quarterbacks, but now because of some injuries, he's got C.J. Williams in there taking the snap sometimes.
So after C.J. Williams gets the 21-yard rush, the Wildcats are all the way at the 10. Matthew Mitchell hands it off to Malachi Rowland, who breaks through the tackle. He makes it all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go, Wildcats, as he gave that 2nd and 3rd effort again and ran it right to the end zone to put 6 more points on the board for the Wildcats, making it 6-0, awaiting the extra point.
A great second effort there by Malachi Rowland. In fact, a lot of great efforts by that Wildcat football team on their first drive on offense on the night, as you can tell. And you could tell last week in the loss in Kaufman that this team has started out this game hungry. And Uriel Santa Cruz puts up the kick, and it is no good.
Well, that's not what we've seen from Santa Cruz. He's been pretty accurate, but couldn't put it through the uprights on that one. The Wildcats are ahead with 9:45 left in the first quarter. 6-0 for the Wildcats here at Gerald Prim Stadium. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back in a moment.
And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium, as we've got the first quarter of homecoming football for the Wildcats football team. And boy howdy, it has started off with a bang as the Wildcats get the ball to start the game and then immediately go on, I believe, yes, a 6-play drive that ended up with 6 points. A Uriel Santa Cruz extra point was missed, so it does stay at 6-0. Just 2 minutes and 15 seconds into this game, the Wildcats take the lead.
Absolutely, and the Wildcats will now be kicking off the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff, and back they got 3 people deep here back for the Pirates. Not something we see normally, and the Wildcats have a different formation.
And Santa Cruz kicks it off. He gets it over to a returner. I believe that's number 1 over there on the far sideline, and he gets it about 12, 13 yards, I would say, before he's taken down at the Crandall 33-yard line, which is where the Pirates will start with the ball for their first offensive scrimmage of this game.
Yeah, so not as good a field position as what the Wildcats had on their first drive, and that's kind of the way we want it. We want to keep pushing them back. They'll be starting on the 33-yard line in their own territory. It'd be 1st and 10 for the Crandall Pirates.
Something that we saw in the lopsided loss to Lovejoy was the Wildcats giving their opponent great field position to start the drive, and number 22, the running back for the Pirates, that's Andrew Anderson with the first play from scrimmage, and he gets about 3 yards on the rush on 1st and 10, so we'll be about 2nd and 7 for the Crandall Pirates. And they are staying in the hurry up as they stay on the field, get the play, and all their players are already set up, ready for the next play. Gets the snap, fakes the handoff, but he does pitch it to number 5 on the jet sweep, and he gets out of bounds. He's all the way out, 40, 50, 45-yard line of Sulphur Springs, but there is a flag down on the play, and I believe they will be called back for holding against number 24, Jaquan Jones.
Let's see what the call is. Everybody's kind of going back to line of scrimmage. You expect. You're absolutely right. A 10-yard penalty for holding against the Crandall Pirates, so that's going to push them back. It's going to make it 2nd down and about 17, it looks like. Oh, no, they're from the spot of the foul, so they're going to just move it back there and make it 2nd and about 11 for the Crandall Pirates.
Definitely not what you envision being an offensive coordinator, is a big, potentially explosive play like that being called back for an offensive penalty really derails a drive. And Jamonte Gordon-West keeps it. He gets about 5-6 yards before he's taken down by a couple of Wildcats defenders, and he makes it all the way to the Crandall 40, about an 8-yard rush for the quarterback, and so it will be a 3rd and 3 situation for this Pirate offense.
Boy, they're quick. They're already up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's a great way to keep the defense off balance, and hands it off to number 22 again, Andrew Anderson, but he is stuffed at the line. He's able to get about a yard on the rush on 3rd and 3, but it will be a 4th and 2 for this Pirate offense, and the offense staying on the field. They want to try and convert this 4th down, first drive of the game. Hurry to the line of scrimmage, and they're able to draw a Wildcat defender off sides.
I think that's exactly what they were trying to do. I'm not sure they were really going to go for it there, but they faked it. They really made it look like that, and they drew a Wildcat offside, so that's going to looks like it's going to give them a first down. If it goes against the Wildcats, it'd be a 5-yard penalty. Here comes the call from the official. So that hurry-up offense really worked for them to hurry back up the line of scrimmage on 4th down and draw the Wildcats offside, gave them a first down.
So we'll see what the Pirates can do now that they have a new set of downs. Hands it off to Andrew Anderson in the backfield, and he's able to break a tackle before being swarmed up by 4 Wildcat defenders at the line of scrimmage. So no yards gained on the rush, so will be a 2nd and 10 for this Pirate offense.
Yeah, the Wildcats read that one pretty well, so they were able to get in there.
Andrew Anderson running off the field for the Pirates. So number 24 in the backfield with quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West, and he's pressured. He's got a couple of Wildcat defenders in his face. Will he be able to break a few tackles? And no, he's able to get some forward positive movement for about 2 yards, but that's all he'll get, as once again the Wildcat defense was there in a hurry.
Very impressive scrambling there by their quarterback. He broke a couple of tackles and just kept going, and they're back up to the line of scrimmage. They're really got this very quick-paced offense, trying to keep the Wildcat defense on their heels.
Big 3rd and 8 for this Wildcat defense as they're going to try and get this Crandall offense off the field on their first drive of scrimmage. Quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West rolls out right. He has his running back deep, and he's able to get, about 10 yards on the play, but there is a flag thrown down for, I believe, what will be extracurricular activities against the Sulphur Springs defense for a late hit or unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Maybe some extended tackling outside the playing field there. I'm not sure. They'll just call it unsportsmanlike conduct probably, but let's see what the call is. They're having a little discussion about it out there on the field, the black and white striped, and here comes the call.
Have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 24 blue, that's a 15-yard penalty for the end of the run, first down.
So yes, unsportsmanlike against the Wildcats gives the Crandall Pirates 15 extra yards on that play, and that's going to push them deep into Wildcat territory. Looks like they're going to mark it about the 27-yard line, Ross, for 1st and 10 for the Pirates.
Yeah, big penalty there. So 2 big defensive penalties against the Wildcat defense, as it looks like we've got a false start against the Crandall Pirates coming up. But yeah, two big defensive penalties to give the Crandall Pirates a new set of downs and allow them to keep moving the ball down the field.
Well, that was against the Wildcats as well. Offsides, another 5 yards, going to make an easy 1st and 5 make it easier for the Pirates on 1st and 5.
2 offsides penalties on this drive for the Wildcat defense as quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West fakes the handoff. He's got a guy deep, and he gets him. He connects inside the Wildcat 10-yard line. And I believe that was, yes, wide receiver number 4.
About a 17-yard pass, I believe, Ross. A pretty good reception.
From inside the 10-yard line, the running back, Andrew Anderson, is able to spin around some Wildcat defenders, turn direction, and go all the way to the end zone for a Crandall Pirate touchdown. Wow.
Yes, the Wildcats hurried up, and they're already up to for the extra point for a 2-point conversion.
Oh, boy.
And so they're very quick on their offense, and they ran that 2-point conversion in and completed before the Wildcats could even get set on defense. So that's going to make it 8-6 for the Pirates over the Wildcats right now. 6:51 left in the first quarter. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Wildcat football here at Gerald Prim Stadium in Sulphur Springs, where the Crandall Pirates have gone ahead of the Wildcats 8-6 as the Wildcats get ready to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. Very, very quick offense on this Crandall team, Ross.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Crandall Pirate offense, I mean, this is something that we've seen in their 2 of 3 victories, that this is they can put up 50-plus points, and they do like to go for the 2-point tries to kind of keep the opposing team on their feet. And with the Crandall Pirate kickoff going out of bounds, it'll give the Wildcats great starting field position at the 40-yard line.
Yes, that didn't even, it wasn't even close. It landed out of bounds, and so that's going to be...
or they will redo the kick.
Okay, so we're going to have another J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff here. No time off the clock, still 6:51. The Crandall Pirates over the Wildcats 8-6. Did he kick it too soon, or? Our normal receivers back for the Wildcats.
We'll see what the Wildcats football team can do on offense on their second drive of the game as Crandall kicks it away. And it will be number 6, Colby Albritton, who gets it. And he's past the 35-yard line, able to break a few tackles before being swarmed up by the kick return team for the Crandall Pirates. And he will be taken down right about the Wildcat 40-yard line.
Just like what you said before, it was like a premonition you had, Ross. You knew exactly where they were going to start. The Wildcats have just about where they started on their last drive. It'll be 1st and 10 for that Hooten's Hardware first down for the Wildcats on their own 40-yard line. They just need to get this first down to get into Crandall Pirate territory.
And this Pirates defense has struggled in their 2 of 3 victories I mentioned, as QB Matthew Mitchell gets out to Landon Fields on the near sideline. He's able to get to about the 46 or 47-yard line in Wildcat territory before being taken down by a swarm of Pirate defenders.
Yes, about 7-yard gain on the reception, and so be a good 2nd and 3 for the Wildcats. So just trying to creep on into Pirate territory there.
Yeah, coaches would call a 7-yard play on 1st and 10, just keeping ahead of the sticks, and a great starting play on that one as he hands it off to J.J. Hall on his first carry of the night, and he's able to get 5 yards on the rush for a Wildcat first down.
So another Hooten's Hardware first down coming up for the Wildcats as they enter into Pirate territory. They're going to be on the 48-yard line into Crandall territory with 5:53 and the clock ticking down here in the first quarter.
So now at the Crandall 48-yard line, we'll see what the Wildcats can do with a new set of downs just under halfway through here with the first quarter as the Pirates show blitz, and he's able to get it to C.J. Williams when he's able to get about 9 yards on 1st and 10. So a great play. So you thought they were staying ahead of the 6 on their last set of downs. Boy, howdy, they got 9 yards on the first play on 1st and 10.
A perfectly thrown pass, too, right between 2 defenders and right into the hands of number 5 there. And he held on to it and looks like they're going to spot it, give him about 8 yards on that reception, and they're going to 2nd and 2 for the Wildcats. Great field position.
So now from the 40-yard line of Crandall, we'll see what the Wildcats can do on 2nd and 2. I expect probably a handoff here to try and gain it, or perhaps a trick play to go deep. Instead, they'll hand it off to J.J. Hall, who swarmed about the line of scrimmage, and I think they will call it a rush of no gain on the play, so it will be a 3rd and 2 here coming up for the Wildcats.
Yeah, so I guess the Crandall Pirates saw that one coming, but good, still good field position. 3rd and short for the Wildcats. They're taking their time. They're not certainly not as quick as the Pirates on getting back to the line of scrimmage.
So a 3rd and 2 coming up after a J.J. Hall rush of no yards. So tight end, that is Matthew Clark, moving left, and he hands it off to J.J. Hall, who's able to bounce off some defenders, but it looks like they're going to call him just short of the yardage to gain, so it will be a 4th and 1 for the Wildcats. Decision time coming up for Greg Owens and his staff.
Yes, hopefully the offense is staying out on the field. 4th and a little over, about a yard, almost exactly 1 yard. And they get the play called in. 15 seconds left on the play clock. 3:45 in the first quarter left.
Matthew Mitchell has moved into the slot for the Wildcats wide receivers. So in at quarterback right now is wide receiver C.J. Williams. But Coach Greg Owens and his staff will call a timeout, so we'll take a timeout with them before 4th and 1 for the Wildcats football team as they lead 8-6 over the Crandall Pirates with just over 3.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium as we've got Wildcats on homecoming. Before the commercial break, I said that the Wildcats led 8-6, but I stand corrected. They trail by 2, 6-8, but they do have the ball, but on a big 4th and 1 situation on the Crandall side of the field at the Crandall 39-yard line. So the Wildcats football team, led by Coach Greg Owens, took a timeout before the commercial break, and they will stay in the same formation. QB Matthew Mitchell in at slot, CJ Williams in at quarterback with the Wildcat formation. And he fakes the handoff, and he takes off right. He's got nothing but space. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Wildcats.
What a fantastic play, as Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go, Wildcats, as he ran 38 yards to put it in the end zone. What just a fantastic play on 4th and short. Of course, the defense for Crandall thought they were just going to run it right up the middle, but they faked him out, ran around the end, and went in for 6 points as Mr. Santa Cruz is coming out to attempt the extra point.
Kicks up, and that one is good. So it will be a 13-8 lead for the Wildcats football team over the Crandall Pirates on homecoming. So when we return, we'll see how the Crandall Pirates answer on offense coming up.
And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium, where the Wildcats are now on top of the Crandall Pirates, 13-8, as they kick that extra point on that touchdown and had missed one on the previous touchdown. 3:23 left in the first quarter, and what a fantastic 4th down play. That's probably the best play we've seen all season from the Wildcats, Ross.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chad. We saw a lot of the Wildcat formation last week in the loss in Kaufman to the Lions, and can't write it better than what we just saw before the commercial break, in which CJ Williams in the Wildcat formation on 4th and 1 was able to take it 39 yards to the house to give the Wildcats their second lead of the game, and currently at 13-8 with just under 3.5 to go here in the first.
Mr. Santa Cruz lining up the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff as he kicks it off right to left here to the Pirates.
Kick is away, and set to return it is number 1 for the Pirates, Luke Moffitt, and he takes it back from inside the 10-yard line, is able to get past the 20 to about the 22-yard line before being taken down by some Wildcat defenders, and that's where the Pirates will start with the ball for their second offensive drive of the game.
Yeah, they're going to spot that about the 23-yard line. They'll be 1st and 10 for the Crandall Pirates, push back a little farther than they were last time, so good news for the Wildcat defense. They just kind of need to keep their head in the game and get back up to that line, because this Crandall offense is very, very quick.
So we'll see what the Pirates can do, starting at their own 23-yard line. And on the first play, Jamonte Gordon-West looks to the far sideline, and he's got a man for about 9 yards. So it will be from a 1st and 10 to a 2nd and 1.
Yeah, I think that was number 12 on the reception.
So with the 9-yard completion, it will be a 2nd and 1, and Jamonte Gordon-West drops the snap as he gets it, and then running back Andrew Anderson blops, is able to shed a few tacklers before being swarmed up at about the original line of scrimmage. So will be about an 8-yard loss on the muff snap.
And a great chance, great execution, I should say, by the Wildcat defense.
And so with a 3rd and 9 situation, the Crandall Pirates backed up to their original line of scrimmage. We'll see if they can convert here or be looking to convert on another 4th down. Quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West looking deep. He's got a man, but he's got 2 Wildcat defenders on him to break up the pass, so it will be an incomplete. And I'd be very surprised if the Pirates went for it here. So far back, they've got a 4th and 9. But it looks like their offense is staying on the field, so maybe trying to draw another offsides penalty. But
make it a shorter 4th down play. but it's a long 4th and 9.
So Coach Harden of Crandall finally makes the decision to punt, and a wise decision out of that, as they're on their own 24-yard line on a 4th and 9. So if you get anything less than 8 yards, the Wildcats are already almost in your own red zone. So smart decision here to punt the ball and give it back to the Wildcats and put the Otis on your defense.
Colt Sillman back to receive the punt.
Punt is away. Doesn't have the exact length that the punter was hoping for, but it looks like he got hit after he got the kick away. But he's able to walk off the sideline. But the Wildcats will start with the football at their own 37-yard line. So just a mere 13 yards from midfield, leading 13-8 over the Crandall Pirates on homecoming with just over 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
The Wildcats come up for the Hooten's Hardware first down. Kind of familiar territory for the starting position here, close to the 40. It's actually going to be on the 37-yard line. So hopefully they can make something work and get on down the field. I would like to see one of those trick plays again.
Starting with the ball on their own 37-yard line, we'll see what the Wildcats can do. Matthew Mitchell back in at quarterback. He hands it off to Douglas Deloney. He's able to break a few tackles. He's on the far sideline. He makes it all the way, it looks like, all the way to midfield. So it will be a 13-yard rush for Douglas Deloney from the first play of scrimmage for the Wildcats football team on their third offensive drive.
So their next Hooten's Hardware first down is going to be right at midfield, and they're just going to need a couple of inches to get into Crandall Pirate territory. They're coming up to the line of scrimmage pretty quick.
Yeah, they like to return the favor that this Crandall offense has been given their defense, and by staying in the no huddle, you keep the defense off balance. And he hands it off to Douglas Deloney again on the halfback draw. He was able to bounce off a tackler and get about 8 yards on the rush. So another impressive run back-to-back for Douglas Deloney. Yes,
they're definitely into Pirate territory now. It's going to be the ball's going to be marked on the 42-yard line. It's just going to be 2nd and 2, so maybe another run play or time for a big pass. Got a few receivers spread out here.
2 men out wide from both directions. Matthew Mitchell looking deep. He's got Weston Fields on the far sideline. There's a man on him. Will he get it to Weston Fields? No. The defensive back for the Pirates looks like he may have had a chance to come down with it, but instead he does not come down with it. So as opposed to being an interception, it will be an incomplete. Still 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats football team at the Crandall 42-yard line.
Right, number 6 for the Pirates there did a great job of coverage, and it was a great pass, great route. Everything was, but the ball was just a few inches short, and the Crandall Pirate jumped a little higher and had a chance to come down with it, but it's 3rd and 2.
Pirates showing blitz, and he hands it off to Douglas Deloney, who's once again able to take it right, and on the far sideline able to get about 5 or 6 yards on the rush, and so a 3rd and 2 becomes another Wildcats first down.
The Wildcats keep marching down the field. This Hooten's Hardware first down will be at the Pirate 35-yard line, so they just keep getting deeper and deeper into Pirate territory, and they're already back up to the line of scrimmage. A lot quicker offense as there's 1:17 left in the first quarter.
So once again, showing blitz from the Pirates, and he's got tight end Carson Fenton going down the seams, but in a play we've seen several times this season, but he's not able to connect with Fenton on that play, so it will be a 2nd and 10 coming up.
Pretty good coverage by the Pirates there. A great pass right between the defenders, but the tight end just couldn't come up with it.
So after the incompletion on the pass from Matthew Mitchell to Carson Fenton, it will be a 2nd and 10 at the Crandall 35-yard line.
Got Cable Glenn in on this side of the field.
C.J. Williams in at the slot, and he's looking C.J. Williams' way all the way as he got the ball at the 30, 25, and all the way down to the 21-yard line. So another first down for the Wildcats, as that's about a 19-yard gain.
Good pickup there for a first down, and they're moving the sticks, and the Wildcats are getting lined up. They're hurrying up back to the line of scrimmage.
And so after picking up another first down, thanks to C.J. Williams, the Wildcats have a new set of downs. 1st and 10 at the Pirate 21, but the play is blown dead for a penalty. I presume it'll be a false start against the Wildcats. Definitely not what you envision when you are a yard outside of the red zone. penalties, especially when in the red zone or just outside, can really derail a momentum in a drive, and that's definitely not what you want when the Wildcats have a chance to go up 2 scores here.
That's going to push it back to 1st and 15. The ball is now marked on the 26-yard line for the Wildcats.
And so after the false start called against the Wildcats, again, 1st and 15 at the Crandall 25-yard line. And Matthew Mitchell looking left first. And Cable Glenn, wow, had a chance to come down with it after running out of bounds a little bit there. He was about to make it inbounds at the Crandall 5-yard line before being hit, and the ball was dislodged, so an incomplete pass.
Yeah, I think he was kind of forced out of bounds there by the defenders, so a little difficult for him to get where the ball was going to, where he needed to be to get the ball. So 15 seconds left on the clock for this first quarter. May get a couple plays off depending on what we have here. 2nd and 15.
After the incompletion, hands it off to J.J. Hall, who makes a couple of moves. I'm sorry, that's Malachi Rowland, but then he's swarmed up behind the line for about a yard loss, so it will be a 3rd and very long for this Wildcat offense.
Yeah, they're probably going to let the clock run out. We're going to switch into the field. We'll take a break here as the end of the quarter ends on the it's 0-0 for the end of the first quarter. The Wildcats up over the Crandall Pirates 13-8. We'll hear from a couple of our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium as we've got the Wildcats football team on homecoming versus the Crandall Pirates. It's been a good game up to this point, and both sides of the ball for the Wildcats football team have looked the best they have all season long, and that's a pretty big statement considering that they looked leagues ahead of where they were even 2 weeks ago in their loss last week versus Kaufman. But now the Wildcats have the ball 3rd and 15 at their own 26-yard line and have the chance to go up 2 scores here. Matthew Mitchell looking right, but he's got pressure. Will he be able to get it to his wide receiver, Weston Fields? He will, but he'll be pushed out of bounds. So looks like Weston Fields is able to get a couple of yards, maybe 2 or 3, but that will be all they can manage. So it will be a 4th and long here, about 4th and 12 for the Wildcats football team.
Yeah, that was good scrambling by the quarterback there, and he got the pass off and connected. So we're seeing a little bit more maturity out of the quarterback game after game, and so we like to see that. He didn't get flustered, but that's going to bring in Mr. Santa Cruz to try for this field goal attempt here with 11:54 left in the second quarter.
From the 24-yard line, it'll be a 42-yard kick. Santa Cruz did miss an extra point earlier, and it's blocked. It will be downed at the point that it was blocked, but the Wildcats field goal try is no good from Uriel Santa Cruz. So a missed extra point from Santa Cruz, and to nothing against him on this last one, but a field goal was blocked. So
yes, I think
special teams errors tonight.
I think he fell on the ball too to recover it. Just good work by the Crandall Pirates special teams, getting around the Wildcat line there and blocking that kick. That's going to give them a pretty average field position for them for the night. They're going to be on their own 31-yard line as they get 1st and 10 as come up to the line of scrimmage.
So from their own 31-yard line, we'll see what they can do now that the Wildcats could not capitalize on momentum, and their running back sweeps right. And he's immediately met by a couple of Wildcat defenders. He's able to break a few tackles, but is still swarmed up what has to be at least 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, it maybe even 6. So a big loss on first play.
Right, they pushed him back a little farther, but they're going to give give him that kind of forward progress in the backfield of a loss of only 5 or 6 yards. So that's going to push them back. 2nd and 16.
Quarterback Javonte Gordon-West fakes the handoff, looking to his wide receiver on the far sideline over on the Crandall sideline, but he could not connect. Number 1, Luke Moffitt, had a chance to come down with it and get a lot of extra yardage, but it went right through his hands. You hate to see it.
Wildcat defense dialing it up on this Crandall offense, so making them really pressured on this 3rd and long.
And the Wildcat offense and the Wildcat defense would be wise to keep the Crandall defense on the field so that this offense can't score any more points. But we'll see what they can do on a 3rd and 16. Javonte Gordon-West looking deep. He's pressured. He sweeps out of the pocket. He's going over to the far sideline, but he is tackled by 3 Wildcat defenders, so it will be a gain of maybe 1 on the play and will cause a punting situation for Crandall.
Fantastic response by the Wildcats defense on that set of downs where they really held their own and held the Crandall Pirates to negative yardage and then no gain when they get the negative yardage. And they're not even going to try to fake anything this time. They brought the punt team out because they're deep in their own territory. The punter's standing on his own 10-yard line right now. So the punt receiver for the Wildcats is on the Wildcat 40-yard line.
So the Wildcat D, as Chad was saying a moment ago, as Crandall's able to get the kick away, a low kick, but still able to get to about the Wildcat, what should be the Wildcat 32-yard line, and that's where the Wildcats will start with the ball with just under 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Wildcats still lead 13-8 in their homecoming match versus the Crandall Pirates.
We'll take a quick break and we'll be back in just a moment.
Welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium as on the first play from the drive, quarterback Matthew Mitchell is able to connect with wide receiver Weston Fields all the way from the 32-yard line to, I believe, the Crandall 39-yard line. So that's 29-yard reception there from Weston Fields for a big moving of the chains. So just about 9.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Wildcats lead 13-8, and they do have the ball again at the Crandall 39-yard line after a 29-yard reception from Weston Fields. 1st and 10 coming up, and he hands it off to J.J. Hall, who's able to break a few tackles. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and he's tackled all the way down at the 1-yard line. A 37-yard rush there from number 8, Malachi Rowland. Wow.
Wow, what a fantastic run as the Wildcats came up for that Hootens Hardware first down, just snapped the ball, handed off, and he ran, broke a couple of tackles, and just almost went to the house. Here comes the 1st and goal. 1st and goal from the 1. He hands it off. Will it, oh boy, and J.J. Hall's swarmed.
Yeah. That's pretty generous as he's taken down at the 5-yard line. He was met with Crandall Pirate defenders at the second he got the snap.
So a loss of about 4 yards on that play, bring up 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line for the Wildcats. They just need to kind of take their time here and regroup, I think. Play clock at 18 seconds. 8:42 left in the second quarter here with the Wildcats over the Crandall Pirates, 13-8.
So 2nd and 5 coming up for the Wildcats football team after the loss of 4 yards. C.J. Williams in at quarterback in the Wildcat formation. He fakes the handoff to J.J. Hall, and he takes it in himself for the 2nd Wildcat touchdown on the night from C.J. Williams.
And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats, as C.J. Williams goes just about untouched into the end zone to put 6 more points on the board for the Wildcats. It's going to make it 19-8 with the extra point pending from Santa Cruz.
So this score has changed on the Crandall Pirates in a big way here, as not too long ago they led 8-6, and just like that, the Wildcats are pretty close to putting up this game by 2 scores as Santa Cruz's kick is up. And it's good. So the PAT point is good, and the Wildcats lead by 12 over the Crandall Pirates with just under 8.5 to go in the first half. 20-8 in their homecoming match.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back for the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff in just a moment. Your Wildcat play-by-play brought to you by iFocus Eye Care, Sulphur Springs Dodge, Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op, J. Hodge Chevrolet, Wesley House, our friends at Alliance Bank, and Hometown Realty. Welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium, where the Wildcats just put a few more points on the board. Ross, 20-8 over the Crandall Pirates. 8:24 left in the first half of this ball game as the Wildcats come out to kick off that J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. The Pirates are going to have to regroup because the Wildcats they're coming together. They're looking pretty good offense, and they've made some adjustments on defense already. Things are looking good.
Yeah, they sure are, and were it not for the 42-yard field goal, no good try from Uriel Santa Cruz on the second to last drive for the Wildcats, this would be over a 2-possession game for this Wildcats football team, but they lead 20-8 with just under 8.5 to go here in the first half. So just as Chad was saying, as Santa Cruz's kick is away, this is the best the Wildcats team has looked all year long. And number one, Luke Moffitt takes it. He goes towards the far sideline, but he's taken down at what has to be about the Crandall 17-yard line.
Yes, Colt Silman on the shoelace tackle there. The Pirate was going to go east and west there and try to go all the way around the other side of the field, but Colt Silman was having nothing of it, and he tripped him up way back there. It's going to be 1st and 10 all the way back. This is going to be, I think, their worst starting field position for the Pirates on their own 20-yard line as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
So starting at their own 19-yard line, trailing by 12 with under 8.5 to go here in the first half, as quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West is able to dish it out to number 7, Samuel Omosigo, on the near sideline. He's able to get what has to be, I believe, 10 yards. Yep, it will be 13 yards, it looks like, on the reception. So nice starting play for this Crandall Pirate offense, trailing.
Yes, a good pass, good connection, and here comes the next play.
Fakes the handoff, but he gets it out to Omosigo again, and he breaks another tackle before being taken down at the Crandall 45-yard line. So this Pirate offense, they're heating up as well.
Yes, they're coming back up the line of scrimmage. They may try it again. Same, why mess with success?
So fakes the handoff, looks towards Omosigo, but instead Omosigo with the ceiling block on the bubble screen instead gets it out to number 1, Luke Moffitt, and he will be taken down right about the yard of scrimmage. He'll be given a 1-yard gain on the play, so a 2nd and 9 for the Pirates at the Crandall 47-yard line. 2nd and 8 coming here. And he hands it off to Andrew Anderson, who's able to break a few tackles and is able to go down the far sideline. 35, 30, 25, and he's tackled out of bounds at about the 25-yard line for the Wildcats.
Oh, a huge run there by number 24 for the Pirates, and gosh, that's going to be about a 27-yard gain, I think. Ross, you may have checked my math, but they're coming up to the line of scrimmage. A quick, very quick offense.
And you're seeing now why you want to keep this offense off the field, because of their high-flying and efficient offense, as once again, one play and a moving of the chains. So we've been seeing a lot of that on this drive, a 1st and 10 being immediately converted.
Yeah, about a 12-yard gain there to number 5 on the pass for Crandall.
So it looks like we got a man defense from Sulphur Springs, and as a result, quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West takes off with it. He's able to break a few tackles, and he's tackled inside the 5-yard line before falling down at about the 3-yard line of the Wildcats football team. So just like that, the Pirates are knocking on the Wildcats end zone.
They're going to give him the first down, so it's going to be 1st and goal about the 3-yard line.
Hands it off, and he breaks a few tackles before falling into the end zone for a Crandall touchdown. And very quickly, the Crandall Pirates are able to score a touchdown, but a 2-point conversion coming up in a very similar, wacky-looking formation as the Pirates' last 2-point try. If they are successful, they will trail by 4.
Now they're changing out some personnel. They're kind of slowing it down. It looks like they're going to maybe take, maybe kick it. Yep.
Looks to be so. So if this extra point try is good, the Pirates will trail by 5 with just under 6.5 to go. Gets the snap, kick is up, and it's good. So the Wildcats football team still lead here in the first half with just under 6.5 to go. They lead 20-15 over the Crandall Pirates after Crandall's able to get the ball in just as quickly score a touchdown. So when we return, we'll see if the Wildcats have some quick answers of their own on offense.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Your play-by-play action here for Wildcat football brought to you by City National Bank, Hooten's Hardware down in Emory, Texas, Farm Country in Sulphur Springs, CPI Imaging, Christus Mother Frances Hospital in Sulphur Springs, and Saputo Foods. And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium as the Wildcats are still up 20-15 over the Crandall Pirates, but Crandall made very quick work of that last drive, going about you have to give me the length of the drive there, Ross. I think about 75 yards, and very quickly. Only 6:27 left in the first half as the Wildcats come out to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff from the Crandall Pirates after that very quick scoring drive.
Yeah, we just saw the 2-minute drill from the Pirate offense as they were able to score a touchdown in about exactly 2 minutes. So 81-yard drive as the Wildcats get the ball. And it looks like number 1, Landon Field takes it. He's got some green grass, 30, 35, and he's taken down by some Crandall Pirates, but not before being, reversed his momentum completely by that Crandall Pirate defender, and he will be taken down at the Wildcat 35-yard line.
Yes, a great run back there, a good return on the kickoff, but he got stood up pretty fast by that Crandall Pirate defender. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hooten's Hardware, first down for the Wildcats on their own 35-yard line.
So as Chad was saying, starting on their own 35-yard line, just over 6 minutes and a quarter left here in the first half. And the Wildcats, again, after giving up a quick touchdown to Crandall, will have to answer if they want to feel a little bit more confident heading into halftime. Matthew Mitchell throws it out to C.J. Williams on the far sideline. He's able to break a number of tackles before getting a first down. 11 yards on the reception from C.J. Williams.
Yes, again, that second and third effort from C.J. Williams as he powers his way past the marker to get a Wildcat first down. The ball's going to be marked on the 46-yard line, still in Wildcat territory, but it's Hooten's Hardware first down. If they can move those sticks again, they'll be in Pirate territory.
On the far sideline, we've got wide receiver Cable Glenn on the outside, and on the near sideline, we've got C.J. Williams in the slot and Weston Fields on the near sideline, and he hands it off to Malachi Rowland, who is quickly grabbed by a defender, but not before he's able to get 4 yards on the rush, so it will be a 2nd and 6 coming up for the Wildcats offense. 5.5 to go here in the first half.
Yes, was looking for a big pass there with all the receivers that were put in, but maybe we're going to have it right now. Got 2 on the far side, 1 on the left, on the near side as the Wildcats move left to right.
C.J. Williams in at quarterback in the Wildcat formation, and he fakes the handoff to Malachi Rowland, able to switch field, make a change of direction, and able to break a few tackles before getting about 3 or 4 yards on the rush, so it will be a 3rd and 2 coming up for the Wildcats offense.
They're into Pirate territory now as the ball's going to be marked on the Pirate 47-yard line, and just a few more yards to get that first down. But like you said, Ross, 3rd and 3. The Wildcats are taking their time. 4:41 left on the in the first half here as the Wildcats are up 20-15.
And if they want to stay ahead going into halftime, they will need to get some points here. And the play is blown dead due to an encroachment penalty against a Pirate defender who was drawn off sides.
And perfect practice pass there all the way down the field, but unfortunately it doesn't count.
So with the 5-yard penalty on 3rd and 3, it will be an automatic first down for this Wildcat offense. The ball will be moved from the Crandall 47 to the Crandall 42. And again, a new set of downs for this Wildcat offense with 4.5 to go in the first half.
Here comes your Hooten's Hardware first down. Hooten's Hardware, Emory, Texas. They're more than just nuts and bolts.
So Matthew Mitchell back in at quarterback. In the backfield with him is Malachi Rowland. Near sideline is Weston Fields. And far sideline, we've got Cable Glenn. And in the slot, as always, is C.J. Williams. Mitchell fakes the handoff to Rowland. Oh, and it's intercepted. 50, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Crandall. A pick 6 by the Crandall Pirates defense.
Yes, just good coverage by number 7 for the Pirates there, which Samuel, and he just went to the house on that. He was just at the right place at the right time. The ball was thrown pretty well, but he picked it off and went to the house with it, and so that's going to put the Pirates over the Wildcats 21-20 with extra points still pending.
Looks like right now they are gesturing that they will again go for 2, and quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West is in at quarterback, and with him in the backfield is number 24 Chris Abram, the junior. But flag is thrown on the field. Looks like we'll have a delay of game penalty called against the Pirates.
We have a delay of game.
Yep.
Crandall, 5-yard penalty, 1 on time down.
So that'll push, if they do go for the 2-point attempt, it'll push it back 5 yards. So instead of being at the 2-yard line, it will be at the 7. And well, from what we've seen from the Crandall offense and most recently from their defense, it shouldn't be much of an issue to get 7 yards to the end zone, but they will instead sub out their offense or 2-point conversion attempt package, and will instead bring in the special teams for an extra point kick.
Yeah, I think they were going to try to put 2 points on the board there and make it a 3-point game, as it's 21-20 right now. So we'll see if the field goal kicker can connect.
Oh, and he doesn't.
Looks like it was blocked by the Wildcats, and so it is no good. It's going to make it a 1-point game right now, as the Crandall Pirates have moved ahead of the Wildcats 21-20, 3:58 left in the half. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment. And we're back at Gerald Prim Stadium, where the Wildcats had an unfortunate turn of events as they were driving down the field and got intercepted, and a pick 6. The Crandall Pirates ran it back for a touchdown, putting them ahead of the Wildcats 21-20, as the Wildcats now take the field to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. Hopefully they can put some more points on the board before the half here, Ross.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And just as you were saying, it was unfortunate because the Wildcats looked like they had a chance to not only to get some points on that drive, but to really put themselves ahead in a way that would probably make them feel confident going into halftime. But after that 57-yard pick 6, this still feels like anyone's game. And they kick it off to player on the far sideline. That's number 14. I believe that's yes, Reed Williams, and he's able to call for the fair catch, and it will be downed at the Wildcat 36-yard line, so just 64 yards to go to the house, or 40 yards if they wanted to for a field goal. So a lot of opportunities for this offense, and just under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Matthew Mitchell gets the snap, hands it off to J.J. Hall, who is quickly met by some defenders, but he's able to make a few athletic moves and make his way back to the line, and able to get some 6 yards after that play. Looks like it didn't have a chance to go anywhere.
Yes, and one of the Crandall Pirates jumped off sides, but as usual, I didn't have my black and white striped shirt or my flag, so I couldn't call that penalty, as they didn't either. One of the Wildcats is slow to get up, so looks like we may have an injury timeout here. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back to Wildcat football here in just a minute.
And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium. Before we went to a commercial break, the running back J.J. Hall, who was the running back on that play, was able to make an athletic move and get about 6 yards on the rush, but he was injured on the play, and so he's able to walk off the field on his own strength, but will walk to the sideline. Matthew Mitchell looking for C.J. Williams on the near sideline, and it's ruled incomplete. Wow. C.J. Williams swore he got it, and I'll tell you what, I kind of did too, but the judge right there said it was down, and he caught the ball from the ground. So incomplete pass, a 3rd and 4 situation coming up for the Wildcats. Definitely don't want to give the ball back to that Pirates offense if they are already behind by 1 with 3.5 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, unfortunately that stopped the clock. The Wildcats need to run a little bit more time off the clock here and try to get some points on the board before the half ends. They're taking their time getting back up to the line of scrimmage. 8 seconds left on the play clock. The game clock not moving.
C.J. Williams in at quarterback in the Wildcat formation. Matthew Mitchell in at slot. And
it looks like it's going to be a delay of game. They just didn't get it off fast enough.
Prior to the snap, we have a delay of game. Sulphur Springs, 5-yard penalty, replay second down.
So that's going to push them back 5 yards. Going to be 2nd and about 9 on the play now for the Wildcats. Have just I was watching the play clock count down, and I mean it was very close. As the ball got snapped, it went to 0, but close enough for the officials to call that delay of game penalty against the Wildcats.
So 3rd and 4 on the delay of game call becomes a 3rd and 9. Again, 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Quarterback Matthew Mitchell back in at quarterback, fakes the handoff, and he's looking for a tight end who had him deep, but he looks like he was held, and it took a little while, but the flag is thrown for holding.
Yes, I didn't even have to throw that. We didn't have to throw one from up here, did we? But came in late and came in from far away, but that's the kind of laundry we like to see as the Wildcat receiver was held, and this is going to be a first down opportunity for the Wildcats, I assume.
Yeah, that was number 7, the defender for the Crandall Pirates, Samuel Omosigo, the wide receiver who had a big drive on the last Crandall drive, which resulted in 6. And
we have defensive pass interference. Crandall, number 7, be a 15-yard penalty. First down, Sulphur Springs.
That's going to put the ball right pretty close to midfield, and just a yard or two into Crandall territory. So they're going to mark it on the 48-yard line of on the Crandall side. The Wildcats still moving left to right here. 3:30 left in the first half. Wildcats down 21-20, a very close ball game, and see what the Wildcats can do on this Hooten's Hardware first down.
C.J. Williams in at slot on the near sideline. And he hands it off to Malachi Rowland, who's able to break free. 20, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. And he's taken down yet again inside the 10-yard line, all the way at the Crandall 8.
So about a 40-yard run, and that puts the Wildcats knocking on the door of another touchdown as they move all the way down inside the 10-yard line. So it's going to be first and goal from about the 8-yard line. And let's see what the Wildcats can do as the clock ticks down. 3 minutes and 8 seconds left in the first half.
And as I mentioned on the last Crandall drive, they were able to go 81 yards in 2 minutes, so they need to take up as much time as they can. C.J. Williams in at quarterback. He hands it off to Douglas Deloney, who's able to push his way forward with his momentum. And it looks like maybe he'll be stopped right about where he started. Maybe he's able to get a yard on the rush, so it will be a 2nd and goal from the 7. Wildcats still have the football under 3 minutes to go at 2:40 left, and we'll see if they can retake the lead here in the ensuing plays.
The clock's still ticking down. See, a pretty tense time there for the Wildcats, but they're taking their time. They're trying to run a little time off the clock. They don't want to give Crandall the ball back with any time left. Like you said, that 2-minute drill didn't work well for the Wildcats last time.
C.J. Williams in at quarterback again. Douglas Deloney in the backfield with him, and he fakes the handoff to Deloney. He keeps it. 5. He's able to make a cutback, able to break a few tackles, but he'll be tackled at the 5-yard line, so he's able to get 2 yards on the Wildcat keeper, and will be a 3rd and 5, or I'm sorry, Yeah, about 3rd and 5 for the Wildcat offense at the Crandall 5-yard line.
Yeah, he was still up, but they called him down because he had gotten wrapped up by a couple of defenders there, but he was still fighting and trying to make that 2nd and 3rd effort like he does. And now it looks like we're going to be a timeout by Crandall. So we're going to take a quick break with 1:58 left on the clock in this first half. We'll be back in just a moment.
And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium as we've got just 2 minutes to go here in the first half as the Wildcats have the ball on the Crandall 5-yard line after being able to go pretty much the length of the field here. They started at their own 36-yard line and are all the way at the Crandall 5. Under 2 minutes to go, they trail 21-20, so a chance for the Wildcat football team to retake the lead, potentially going into halftime.
Yes, this is some good football. This reminds me of last week's game where it's back and forth. The Wildcats had the lead here for a length of time, but now they're trying to get it back as it is 3rd down.
C.J. Williams in at quarterback again, Wildcat formation. Matthew Mitchell in at quarterback in the slot. Oh my goodness, he's passing. And wow, it's broken up deep in the end zone. It looks like there was a chance there for the Wildcats to score on a pass from C.J. Williams to, I believe that was a tight end, Carson Fenton, but he is down next to the goalpost.
Yeah, number 46, we're going to have an injury timeout as it looks like he maybe came down awkwardly on that. So we're going to take a short break with 1:55 left in the half, and we'll be back in just a moment. And we're back at Gerald Prim Stadium where the tight end is still being tended to there beyond the end zone. So we've continue with our injury timeout. Ross, I was going to update you on a couple of scores from around our district. Ennis, as the other teams playing around the district are about at halftime or at halftime, like we're getting pretty close. Ennis is over the Greenville Lions 21-0, and Royce City is over Corsicana 24-7 with about a minute left in their second quarter. And then the Forney Jackrabbits have 3 points against the North Forney Falcons, a cross-city rivalry going. The North Forney Falcons have 7, so a very close game there at halftime, 7-3. The North Forney over Forney High School. So some of our other competitors coming up in the coming weeks, and so Greenville having the toughest time, I think, out of all of those matchups so far. They're still tending to this to a Wildcat player that's down, so we'll take another short break, and we'll be back with you here at Gerald Prim Stadium in just a moment.
And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium as we've got Wildcat football on homecoming. The first half is winding down. The Wildcats have the football and managed to get it all the way to the Crandall 5-yard line before a C.J. Williams in the Wildcat formation pass to Carson Fenton did not connect. And Carson Fenton must have gone down awkwardly or perhaps just got injured on the play, so he is being walked off the field now by a couple of athletic trainers. And So I'm sure Coach Greg Owens is talking with his team right now about whether they will be going for 3 here or going for all the marbles and going for 7.
Right, it's 4th and 5, and so, but a minute and 55 left on the clock here. It looks like they're sending in the kicker to put 3 points on the board. Hopefully, Mr. Santa Cruz can connect on this one. We'll see. We'll see what happens here on 4th and 5 for the Wildcats.
Kick coming up for Uriel Santa Cruz. No doubt he's hoping for better results than his last attempt when the 42-yard field goal was no good, and it bounces off the uprights. Wow. So 2 straight field goal attempts for Uriel Santa Cruz and 2 straight no goods.
Very unfortunate for the Wildcats, and just a little pushing a little wide there and bounced off the upright. That the other kick was blocked. We'll have to review the tape on that block kick and see how that defender on special teams got around the line so quickly to block that. But either way, it's unfortunate for the Wildcats. 1:48 left in this half. 21-20. Very close ball game. A very good ball game. An average number of penalties, I would say, or maybe a little above average. It may be some factors in the game, as the Crandall Pirates are going to try to make something happen very quickly with 1:48 left in the half.
The Pirates come on this drive having 2 timeouts left. Quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West looking at the far sideline, and he's got a wide receiver, and I believe that was, number 1, Luke Moffitt on the reception, and that has to be at least, a 15-yard reception, 16 yards from Luke Moffitt on the first down reception, and he was able to get out of bounds, so it will stop the clock, and a new set of downs for the Pirate offense. Starting at their own 36. He's looking right. He's got Samuel Omosigo. He makes an athletic move, is able to get around 1 defender, able to get around 2, all the way up to about the 50-yard line, so just about crosses midfield on the reception, and they will put him down at the 50.
And he ran out of bounds, so he stopped the game clock, the play clock, and they're already back up to the line of scrimmage.
2 plays, and the Pirates have already moved 30 yards. The quarterback keeps it. He's at the 40, 35, 30, 25, and he's taken down by 3 Wildcat defenders, but not before plowing into them and getting all the way to the Wildcat 21-yard line. So a 29-yard reception there, or I'm sorry, a 29-yard rush from quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West. Pirates going on a drive. He's looking deep. He's got a wide receiver moving towards the end zone, and he is held by a defender on the play, but it doesn't matter because he is still able to get the ball and get the touchdown. So in less than a minute, the Crandall Pirates offense is able to go 80 yards to get a touchdown, and if they're able to get the 2-point try here, they will be up by 2 possessions on the Wildcats. And Jamonte Gordon-West keeps it, and he is able to just march through a couple Wildcat defenders on the 2-point try, and the 2-point conversion is good. So the Crandall Pirates, after trailing just a few moments ago, now lead by 9 here over the Wildcats on homecoming, 29-20.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to come out pretty quickly for that kickoff, so we're going to stay with you with 1:05 left in the first half here. Unfortunately, the Wildcats have a very quick turnaround in the game. The coaches are trying to get the team fired up to stay in the game. There's still plenty of time left here, 1:05. If you go on the Crandall time clock, you can put 7 points on the board in that amount of time. So the Wildcats will be coming out to receive the Jayhawk Chevrolet kickoff as the Crandall Pirates have gone ahead of the Wildcats 29-20. So very, very quick turnaround here as the Wildcats were all the way down on the 5-yard line. 4th and 5, decided to kick. Kick was no good. The ball was moved out to the 20, and the Pirates very quickly moved it 80 yards down the field, and all of a sudden a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And like you said, Ross, it's a 2-possession game.
You're exactly right, Chad. And with just over a minute to go, this game has really flipped on the Wildcats in the last 5 minutes, and that's a tough pill to swallow when you're up by 12 at one point, and now you are trailing by 9 going into halftime. So the kickoff is kicked to the Wildcats. And that's Cable Glenn who comes in on the reception, and the ball will be down at close to the Wildcat 40-yard line. Looks like they'll put it about the 39.
Yeah, so the Wildcats will have to make quick work of this as they've got quite a lot of green ahead of them, get into the end zone. 1:05 left in the half. Like we said, they're down 29-20 as the Wildcats come out for the Hootens Hardware first down on their own 39-yard line. So it's serious play time for Coach Owens right now.
Wildcats still have 2 timeouts they can use here in the first half, as quarterback Matthew Mitchell gets the snap, and he's looking, and he's got number 4 deep, but he drops it just as a defender is able to come in and break up the pass. So that would have been a huge, at least 20-yard reception for number 4 for the Wildcats, Colt Silman.
Yes, that was a beautiful pass, but it was just in and out of the hands. He had pretty good coverage by the Pirates on that, but broke it up, and incomplete pass. So now 2nd and 10 from the same 39-yard line.
The Wildcats may not get a better opportunity to score than what number 4 Colt Silman just got on the post route, but instead the Wildcats hand it off to number 9 J.J. Hall, who's able to break a few tackles and is able to get past the line of scrimmage, about 4 yards on the rush, but the clock will continue running with about 45 seconds left to go here in the first half. The Wildcats have the ball at their own 43-yard line. So clock still running.
Yep.
Looks like maybe Coach Greg Owens decided that if they're not going to hit the home run ball, they're going to play it safe. And after extended delay, it seems a timeout is called on the field. And I believe it will be charged against the Wildcats, but we'll see. Either way, we're going to take a quick short break. And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium, as on the Wildcat 43-yard line, they're able to, quarterback Matthew Mitchell is able to get out to Weston Fields all the way to the Crandall 32-yard line. Weston Fields on the near sideline was able to make a great catch and then make a couple athletic moves. So maybe the Crandall Pirates defenders thought he was out of bounds, but he's able to stay in bounds, get some extra yardage, and the ball is at the Crandall 32-yard line. So just 9 seconds to go here in the first half. The Wildcats still trail by 9, 29-20. At the Crandall 32, but some Crandall coaches run onto the field. They want to call a timeout because they don't like what the Wildcats are giving them. So we'll take a timeout with them, and we'll be back here in just a moment. And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium, as the first half is just about completed. The Wildcats trail by 9, 29-20, with just 9 seconds to go here in the first half. Coach Greg Owens and his program do have the ball on the Crandall 32-yard line, but again, just one timeout for Coach Owens' team, and they're on the 32-yard line for Crandall. So a field goal opportunity, I'm sure, coming up here, but we'll see if they can't potentially get it all the way to the end zone on this upcoming play. Mitchell gets the snap. He's looking left. He is pressured, and he is sacked. Definitely not what you write up on the final play from scrimmage, and timeout called on the field, and the timeout is charged against the Wildcats, so that will be the final timeout here in the first half. And with the quarterback sack, the ball has been moved close to 10 yards backwards, about 5 or 6, and so it will be a 2nd and long for the Wildcats if they attempt to go for the field goal here in a moment.
Just left 2 seconds left on the clock there for the half, Ross. They just kind of out of options here other than a Hail Mary to go all the way down the field. Certainly too far to kick it, and no time left to do anything else but put the ball in the air, which was what they looked like they were trying to do, but the Crandall Pirates certainly saw that coming and sacked the quarterback.
So with just 2 seconds left to go on the clock, both teams talking it out with their coaching staffs huddled up on their respective sidelines. But again, just 2 seconds to go. And quarterback Matthew Mitchell is back in, and in the backfield with him is Malachi Rowland. On the far sideline, you've got Landon Fields in the slot of CJ, and on the near sideline, you've got in the slot Colt Silman, and then on the near sideline on the outside is number 16, Weston Fields. So likely Hail Mary or end zone shot coming up here. The Crandall Pirates sending 4, and quarterback Matthew Mitchell takes off. He gets to 30, 25, 20 before he is tackled or pushed out of bounds right about the 15-yard line. So that will end the first half. The Wildcats trail 29-20 going into halftime of homecoming.
We have an interview coming up at halftime, but we're going to take a break and hear from some of our halftime sponsors, and we'll be back with you in just a moment for the halftime interview. And welcome back to Gerald Prem Stadium, where it's halftime here for the Wildcat game. The Wildcats are trailing the Crandall Pirates 29-20, and as the Crandall band and drill team is coming on, we have in the press box with us Paul Harvey from Christus Mother Frances Hospital here in Sulphur Springs, one of our play-by-play sponsors, and certainly a very important part to our community, especially in these trying times. Paul, welcome to Wildcat football. Welcome into the KSST press box.
Thank you. Pleasure being here.
Yes.
Exciting game so far.
Yes, it is an exciting game. It's been back and forth, and a couple of weeks ago we had Dr. Mastakis in, the orthopedic surgeon, who's also in charge of the not in charge. Well, he's in charge of the clinic on Saturday that they have, the sports clinic there
right.
at the hospital, and helps the trainers out and watches over the players. A great service that they do for the community here, all kind of spearheaded by you and your team over there at Christus Mother Frances Hospital.
Yes. They come over, I think it's like 9 to 12 is when we have the hours, and we service 22 high schools now. But obviously, Sulphur Springs is our, big time.
Sure, the hub.
The hub,
yes,
where everything coordinates, and but it's pretty nice for kids to be able to come and not have to go to Dallas or Tyler if they have a sports injury, they can come in the next day and get seen by a true sports medicine, orthopedic surgeon. So that's great.
Right, and that happens all through the emergency department, I believe. Is that correct?
Well, now this year they're actually going over to his clinic space.
Okay.
And everything's done over there, so that way it doesn't tie up our ED, and it works out better for the kids and their families.
Right. Great. And I have noticed we did a story on this a couple of weeks ago that the state offered a little extra space, and the hospital working with the EMS and then with the county. I was there I drove by. I just took pictures outside my car, really, Paul. But there was work going on, and I didn't want to get in on that. But the county helped put up that tent to provides the hospital with some extra space. Tell me how that's going.
That's actually going real well. We have it completely operational, and what we're doing is running our infusions for our COVID patients over there. So we just finished our second week of doing that. That gives them a place they can drive right up to, walk right in, very air-conditioned, cooled space, be seen by our staff that have to be in the appropriate gear to be able to do those infusions.
Sure.
So it's worked out really well.
And obviously keeps those patients separated and separate from interacting or being in the same space as non-COVID patients, because everybody going to get a COVID infusion obviously is COVID positive. So a great use of that space. And hopefully, I'm not sure, not putting you on the spot because I'm not sure how long that tent will be offered and that extra space will be offered by the state, but I'm sure.
We have that till further notice, should we say. It's not ours to keep permanently, but
right.
We have it for at least the duration of whenever we see the end of what we're currently dealing with. So.
And it's of course, there's a great relationship between our hospital district, which operates the EMS, mm-hmm. and our hospital that's operated by Christus, the Christus group. Mm-hmm. And so great partnership there, if you will, that we always see great things of y'all working together, and the EMS is represented very well by their team, and they helped, I think, make that arrangement for the tent as through the same state agency that maybe provides the AMBUS that is located in Sulphur Springs, which is another great asset that we have. So great things happening in the healthcare community again in these trying times. I know that everything's a challenge now. It seems like there's probably staffing challenges, and I think maybe the state or the federal government is helping you out with extra staff during these times.
Well, yes, it's kind of a slow trickle process compared to last year. So it's really been up till a few weeks ago, 100% our staff, day in and day out, for them taking care of the extra patients that we've had over the last 2 months. We've had experienced high census, high utilization of COVID patients.
Right.
And so now we have a few of those resources we have been, allocated, but, everybody's dealing with less resources from a staffing standpoint than what we enjoyed last year.
I see. And you're still pushing forward and doing a lot on the COVID front, I know. I think this morning, you had another, I'll call it a vaccination clinic, but that may not be the term you use, but where you're there in the front lobby offering vaccination, whether it's first dose, second dose, maybe still third dose, and I know the FDA and the CDC are still arguing day by day of who may be eligible for a third dose and may not need it, but and y'all sort all that out, and Holly Reagan's good about sending out information to us almost on a daily basis that we put on our website and talk about on the radio of what's available. And I guess those Friday vaccination clinics are still ongoing.
They are 9 to 12. They will be every Friday in our hospital front lobby until further notice. And you're right. We give out. Today we had over 200. Give out over 200 doses. Had a lot of first timers that came in, and so whatever's going to happen with the FDA and so forth, the key is that even for a booster, if you're over 65 or have health-related compromising conditions,
right.
The booster is good for you, either Moderna or Pfizer.
Right.
And that's why we're going to continue to do it that way.
And no appointment necessary on that Friday morning in the lobby there. You just show up and then you you had, I was there the other day actually, and you had everything available. They had the Johnson & Johnson still available, which is a 1-dose shot vaccine, and then you had the Pfizer and the Moderna, all available for first, second, third, for those. I guess there's no follow-up on the Johnson & Johnson. If you got that before, there's no booster for that, but on the others there are. And so,
well, Chad, just to be clear, today was the last day that we were able to do Johnson & Johnson.
Okay, I'm glad you cleared that up for me.
So, yeah, that's one that we just don't have anymore to give until the state starts allocating.
Yeah, but the allocations on the Moderna and the Pfizer seem to be more widely available than they were in months past, because people were basically clamoring and trying to get those first doses of those two vaccines when they were first available.
That is correct.
And so, well, good. Keep up the good work over there at Christus Mother Frances Hospital. There's a lot going on, and these times I'm sure that you would recommend for everybody to get the vaccine. I think the data shows that you're much more. You can still get COVID even though you've had the vaccine, and that's what they call the breakthrough cases. But you're much better off of fighting that and clearly surviving that if you've had the vaccine. Is that correct?
Well, yes. If I can, since June when we've been tracking the latest surge, really 95% of our hospitalized COVID patients have been unvaccinated.
Correct. So I'm going to repeat that again, so make sure that we understand that 95% of the COVID patients that you have in the hospital are those that have not been vaccinated.
That is correct.
Okay. And so that means that very few that you're seeing that have had the vaccine, so only 5%, 1 out of 20, that very few of those have been vaccinated, have a breakthrough case, and it's bad enough that they've needed to be hospitalized. So
that is right, Chad. If I can say one more quick plug.
Please. It's all your time, Paul.
Well, just to make sure, because Holly's done a great job of getting the word out. We just started COVID testing. Now we have that available 4 hours a day at one of our clinics there on campus. We KSST and our other outlets have that information. It's just a drive up. It's not a drive through. It's just a drive up. You do have to make an appointment for that.
Okay.
But whether you're our patients or not, anybody can come in and get that COVID test. Okay. And that's something new because we don't have a lot of testing capability right now in Hopkins County. Yeah,
the state was providing some free testing for months and months and months, but they ended that several months ago. And you're right. Now, is there a charge for that testing?
No, the only charge is if you have insurance, they will bill that, but there's no out of pocket. So that's the only thing. If there's no insurance, there's no charge.
Right, and I didn't mean to put you on the spot on that, but that's one question that we always have, because that the state provided test was the same way. There was no charge to the
well,
patient.
If you have insurance or Medicare, by law we have to do.
Then they'll charge it to that, but there won't be any out of pocket.
There won't be any out of pocket, any copay, etc. So.
And then how do they sign up for that appointment? And so there's a number to call there, and so that's going to be 903-885-3181. And so that's, I'm going to repeat that number again. It'll be on our website, kssstradio.com, but 903-885-3181. So as the band, the visiting band for the Crandall Pirates finishes up, we're going to finish up our interview with the administrator of the hospital here, Paul Harvey, and we appreciate your time, and we appreciate everything you do, not only for Wildcat football and for all the athletes in the area on that sports clinic, but what you're doing on a daily basis to try to keep the healthiness improving in Hopkins County. So
it's a pleasure to be here and supporting our school and our community partners for sure.
We're going to go back to the station and take hear from a few of our sponsors for halftime, and then we'll be back with the Wildcat Band here in just a moment. And welcome back to Jill. Welcome back to Gel Prem Stadium as the Crandall Pirate Band is leaving the field. The Wildcat Band will be out here in just a moment as they get their percussion section, which seems to be getting larger and larger. All these bands are getting here, but they're moving that equipment back out on the field. Still going to be a minute or two, so, the drill team is coming out, so they'll be lining up, and we'll hear from them here in just a second. It's halftime Wildcat football. Wildcats are down 20-29. The Crandall Pirates as the Blue Blazes enter midfield.
Cummings, Cole Rowena, and Clayton Buckman, and Junior Cummings, Captain Delarosa. Ladies and gentlemen, here they come. Man, oh man, that Wildcat band. Tonight, the game's best performance, 2021 performance, be our guest. The Wildcat band wants to recognize this week's section of the week is Spirit recipient, the percussion section. And this week's band members of the week are Brooklyn Arson and Barrett Tessin. So join us tonight in the kitchen as we prepare to go for the exciting season. Ladies and gentlemen, Sulphur Springs High School is proud to present the Wildcat Band.
that Wildcat band.
Another fantastic performance, and we got the full benefit that time of all the props and all the stuff that they don't travel with. Of course, this being a home game, homecoming, they get to bring all the big toys out, and it was just that performance is called Be Our Guest, I believe, and a lot of different themes there, but a great performance as always by the Wildcat band.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Chad. And as the football season progresses, you get to see more and more of the show featured each and every week. And I can pretty confidently say that this game tonight was the first time we got to see the third movement of the Blue Blazes band and their UIL show. So it was great to see the show in its entirety as they'll continue to work on it for UIL contests for the marching season. And yeah, just a great show. And they continue. Just like the football team, we see it each and every week. They continue to improve and continue to sharpen up each and every facet that which they work. And as a former band kid, it's always a great pleasure to see the band as the Wildcats football team makes their way onto the field. And on homecoming, no less, to have so many people come home, and I can guarantee you a number of these people who came to this game tonight are going to be back visiting and remembering those good old times of being with the band or on that football team.
Yes, and I know the Greg Owens had his work cut out for him there at halftime, trying to get the offense or the defense back kind of on track. The Wildcats were doing good. They were up by a couple of possessions there early in the first half, and then things turned around for them a little too quick, and now it's 29-20, the Pirates over the Wildcats. But there's a lot of game left, and hopefully the Wildcats can kind of turn down the momentum that the Crandall Pirates had there at the end of the second half.
Yeah, you're right, Chad, but unfortunately for Coach Owens and his program, the Crandall Pirates won the opening coin toss and deferred to the second half, so they will start with the ball to start the second half. And just as you were saying, as they had momentum going into halftime, at one point Crandall trailed 20-8 to the Wildcats football team before Crandall was able to come back and scored 21 unanswered points to take the lead versus the Wildcat football team, and now they lead 29-20 and set to get the ball to start the second half.
Yes, the Wildcats are taking the field, and they're about to kick off to the Crandall Pirates and the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff, and the three receivers back deep for the Crandall Pirates like they've done. Not looking for an onside kick. I'm always looking for an onside kick, but I don't think it's going to happen here to start the second half. Ross?
Yeah, I'm not so sure. We've seen a couple of onside kicks from Coach Owens as the Wildcats kick it deep, but out to receive it is number 1, Luke Moffitt. He's able to break a few tackles, and he gets about up to the Crandall 39-yard line, which is where they'll start with the ball for the first drive of the second half with the Pirates on offense.
He fielded that ball about the 21-yard line and made it up to, looks like they're going to mark it at the 39, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Crandall Pirates, kind of in familiar territory between that 35 and 40-yard lines where they've started most of their drives.
And with the Wildcats defense getting the chance to get a breather during halftime, and again, giving up 21 unanswered points is never a recipe for success, but the opportunity to sit at halftime surely helped this Wildcat defense, and we'll see what they can do on defense to start the second half. Quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West hands it off to number 24, Andrew Anderson, and he's able to get about 4 yards on the rush, maybe 3, and so it will be a 2nd and 7 after the rush by, Chris Abram. So quickly back up to the line, 2nd and 6 to go, or 2nd and 7, fakes the handoff, looks right, he's got it out to Samuel Omosigo, and he's got open space, 50, then he's pushed out of bounds at the Wildcat 45-yard line. So just like that, in one play, the Crandall Pirates football team are on the Wildcat side of the field.
Yep, it's 1st and 10 for the Crandall Pirates, and they're coming back up to the line of scrimmage. It's business as usual for these Pirates.
Yeah, the Wildcats defense offense is going to need a much needed stop as quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West looking deep. He looks, but he breaks out of the pocket. He's at the 40. He makes his way around a couple of Wildcat defenders before being taken down at about the Wildcat 33-yard line.
Yeah, they're marching down the field, just taking enough time off there to get the play called in as they move the sticks. This very quick Crandall offense.
Yeah, they've been having their way recently against Coach Kirby Haynes' defense as Gordon West takes off and he slides down to about the 29-yard line, so it'll be close to the first down. Not bad rush there for the quarterback Jamonte Gordon West on
about 9 yards.
On the play that broke down, so 2nd and 1 coming. And he darts it out to number 1, who's able to break around a defender and is able to be pushed out of bounds at right around the 10-yard line. Looks like they'll spot him at the Wildcat 11.
Another first down for the Pirates. They're moving the sticks and waiting just long enough to get the sticks moved before they run another play.
1st and 10 at the 11, and he hands it off to Andrews Anderson, and he's able to break around a number of defenders before breaking his way into just about the end zone. They'll call him down at about the 1-yard line, but there is a flag on the play, so we'll see who it is called against here in a second.
One thing we didn't get to talk about was there was a few penalties in that first half that really kind of made the difference on the scoreboard in the first half. Just too much laundry, as Neil would say, from Town and Country Cleaners, one of our halftime sponsors.
So number 1, Luke Moffitt of the Crandall Pirates is called for a blindside block. So that is a huge penalty against the Pirates. That will be, I believe, a 10 or 15 yard. Looks like it'll be from the spot of the foul. So about close to 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so it will be a 2nd and pretty long for this Pirate offense as they are now at the Wildcat 19-yard line.
Good.
2nd and, or I believe it, yes, 1st and 18.
Good break for the Wildcats.
Let's see if they can capitalize on some lost momentum as he hands it off to number 5, who's making his way left. 10. He makes it around another Wildcat defender, and he's all the way inside the 5. He looks like he'll be tackled right around the goal line at the 1-yard line of the Wildcats. A very impressive run there from the running back. I believe that was Andrews Anderson as they run back to the line. They're in their own 5. They drop the snap, and it looks like they're still fighting for it. Wildcats look like maybe they've got their hands on it after a muffed snap at the Wildcats 1-yard line. If the Wildcats can recover, that is a huge shift in momentum.
And it is Wildcat ball as the Wildcat comes up with it over that muff snap. There was quite a bit of scrambling, but the Wildcats have it, and they've got a long way to go. But they have broken the momentum of the Crandall Pirates as they're going to take over about on their own 6-yard line. It's going to be a Hooten's Hardware first down for the Wildcats. 1st and 10 from about the 6-yard line, it looks like, and that's a big stop for the defense of the Wildcats.
And it's exactly what they needed as this Crandall Pirate offense looked again poised to score 6 points and perhaps more on a potential 2-point conversion attempt, but they will fumble it at their Wildcats 1-yard line. The Wildcats recover and now have the ball at their own 6, 94 yards to the house. But let's see what they can do on the first play from scrimmage as he hands it off to J.J. Hall. He breaks through a few defenders, and he's all the way to the 25-yard line, or he makes it just past the 20 to about the 22-yard line of the Wildcats. So that'll be close to a 20-yard rush. I believe it's about 16 yards from J.J. Hall.
Yeah, great effort there, and it's 1st and 10. Another Hooten's Hardware first down from the Wildcat 23-yard line.
So with the new set of downs, we'll see what Mitchell does. He hands it off to Malachi Rowland, and wisely so, as he goes up the gut and is able to break a few defenders before getting about 5 or 6 more yards on the second attempt.
Yep, at the second and third effort again, these Wildcats are really battling, and they get all the way down to the 31-yard line.
So a 9-yard rush there by running back Malachi Rowland on first down, and just as Chad was saying, it is 2nd and 1. Great opportunity to potentially go deep here for the Wildcats. Let's see what they do. And he's looking over for C.J. Williams on the far sideline. He's able to break around a defender and get past the 40-yard line of the Wildcats, and he'll be tackled at about the 42 of the Wildcat side of the field. So just over 9 minutes to go. The Wildcats do still trail by 9, 29-20, and again with over 9 minutes to go.
Another first down for the Wildcats, 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. It's another Hootens Hardware first down. The Wildcats are marching down the field.
And now you see that they've kind of got a hybrid between the huddle and the hurry up as they're trying to keep this defense on its heels. Matthew Mitchell sweeps left. He patches it out to Cable Glenn, but the ball bounced off the ground, and Cable Glenn could not come down with it as it was just right next to him, but it will be an incomplete pass.
A little bit short on the throw there, and Cable Glenn was pretty much wide open, but I really wasn't watching the quarterback see if maybe he got hit right as he threw it, but came up short. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
Good news for the Wildcats football team is that quarterback Matthew Mitchell hasn't been very inaccurate tonight, as looks like the running back there, either Malachi Rowland or J.J. Hall, is able to get 8 yards on the rush on 2nd down. So will be a 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats on offense. But we have a Pirate down.
Yep, looks like it's going to be an injury timeout. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you here at Gerald Prim Stadium in just a moment.
And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium as we had a quick injury timeout.
Number 54 over on the Crandall Pirates side. He walked off under his own power finally. And not sure, it looked like a lineman, pretty big young man there, and I'm not sure how he got twisted up. But that's going to make it 3rd and about 2 for the Wildcats right here. The ball's on the 50-yard line.
So with the defensive lineman out for the Crandall Pirates, the Wildcats would be wise to exploit the opportunity, and they do just that as J.J. Hall is able to get 5 yards on the rush up to about the Crandall 45-yard line and is able to get the first down.
I think that may have been Malachi there on that carry number 8. To getting the first down is going to be 1st and 10, a Hootens Hardware first down for the Wildcats. They're into Crandall Pirate territory on the Pirate 45-yard line.
Malachi comes off the sideline limping. Maybe he's cramping up over there, but he's being tended to. Wildcats still have the ball. 1st and 10, new set of downs, and miscommunication there on the Wildcats offense as Matthew Mitchell threw a ball, or attempted to throw a ball to Cable Glenn, who perhaps didn't run the right route because neither of them were, both the pass and Cable Glenn were nowhere near the intended spot.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication there, and but luckily the Crandall defender didn't get close to the ball, or that would have been a huge interception, possibly a pick 6. But no harm, no foul. 2nd and 10 from the Crandall 45.
The Wildcats would be wise to get a touchdown here, as in their loss last Friday in Kaufman, as Mitchell gets the snap, rolls right. He's looking for C.J. Williams on the far sideline. It looks like he was able to come down with it, but he is out of bounds, so it will be an incomplete pass on 2nd and 10. 3rd and 10 coming up. But the point I was trying to make before the play got off was that the Wildcats in their last week game in Kaufman in the loss to the Lions, the Wildcats got the ball and went on a 7-minute drive, something similar to what we're seeing right here to start the second half. But the Wildcats only settled for a field goal, and which would eventually come back to bite them. So if they're going to take this much time off the clock to make sure Crandall's offense can't get the ball, they would be wise to get a touchdown here to put themselves in a one-possession game.
Huge 3rd down, 3rd and 10 from the Crandall 45 for the Wildcats. 7:53 left in the 3rd quarter.
C.J. Williams sweeping left. He's back in the tight end position, but Sulphur Springs will call a timeout before the play gets off, so we'll take a timeout with them. We'll be right back.
Ladies and and gentlemen, once again, let's congratulate our 21-22 Sulphur Springs High School homecoming queen, Allie Hinton.
Welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium. As the play clock was ticking down there, Ross, I think Greg Owens thought they were going to have a delay of game penalty, so he quickly called a timeout. And or maybe he didn't like what he saw. It was a very important third down play, third and long. Like you say, they've got to keep this momentum going, and if they don't get this, then if they can't convert on this third down play, it's going to make it very difficult to put any points on the board for this drive.
Yeah, and on top of that, it could be a deciding factor in this game if they can get some points here, especially a touchdown. Number 14 moving right. The Pirates showing pressure. He gets it to Landon Fields on the near sideline, but Landon Fields cannot come down with that. I think he was expecting that throw a little bit later and tried to catch it on the ground, but it went through his arms, and so it will be an incomplete pass. 4th and 10 coming up, and punting team coming on for the Wildcats.
Great effort by Landon Fields as he stretched out there and got a hand on the ball, but it was just not exactly where he needed it to be to come up with it, and so that's going to mean punt time for the Wildcats from the Crandall 45. The punt returner for the Pirates back on his own 10-yard line.
Santa Cruz gets the snap. Kick is away. And Luke Moffitt going back to get it. He's back at the Crandall 11-yard line, able to get around a couple Wildcat defenders. He's up to the 30, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Wildcats, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Crandall Pirates. I don't see any flags on the field, so it looks like as of right now that play will stand. It will be a touchdown for the Crandall Pirates on the kick return.
Very unfortunate for the Wildcats as the punt returner very quick for the Pirates and ran that back. I guess he fielded that about on the 15-yard line, Ross, so that's an 85-yard run, and they put 6 more points on the board. 35-20, the Pirates over the Wildcats with the extra. Looks like they're going for 2 points here.
So sweeps left. He's got a wide receiver all alone in the end zone. So the 2-point conversion is good. And just like that, the Wildcats football team, after trailing by 9 at halftime, give up an 88-yard kickoff return to Luke Moffitt, who goes all the way to the house. And the 2-point conversion is good. So the Wildcats now trail by 17, just about halfway through the third quarter, 37-20.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff in just a minute. And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium, where the Wildcats are down 37-20 with 7:40 left in the third quarter after the Crandall Pirates ran back a punt, 88 yards, as Ross said, all the way to the house. The Wildcats were making a pretty good drive, getting a pretty good drive going, and then couldn't convert on the 3rd and 10, had to punt the ball away, and it turned into 8 points for the Crandall Pirates as they come out to kick off. And the Wildcats are back to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff.
Kick is away. Number 1, Landon Fields back forward about the Wildcat 20-yard line. He gets a few blockers, and he starts reversing field. He's up to the about 30-yard line of the Wildcats before he's taken down right about the 35.
It's going to be a Hooten's Hardware first down for the Wildcats from their own 35-yard line. Really going to have to get some momentum going here for this Wildcat offense. They're up to the line of scrimmage very quickly. I think they're going to try to take a few notes from their opponent tonight and get the ball in play very quickly and keep the ball moving, keep the defense on their heels.
as quarterback Matthew Mitchell talks to his man out on the far sideline, Weston Fields, making sure they're on the same page, and fakes 2 handoffs, and he hands it off to C.J. Williams on the jet sweep, who's able to make it around a couple of defenders and make it all the way up to midfield at the 50-yard line. So a 15-yard rush from C.J. Williams on the first play from scrimmage.
Well, they're trying to get things moving, and as they get 1 yard into Pirate territory, they're already up to the line of scrimmage for their Hooten's Hardware first down. The Wildcats are moving quickly.
Yeah, and after we've gotten a quick punt return for a touchdown, and the Pirates threatened to score to begin the second half as Matthew Mitchell looks for C.J. Williams, and it's almost intercepted again, this time by defender Case Mumphrey.
Yes, I think the safety for the Pirates very quick. He was that could have been very detrimental for the Wildcats. Very quick, he got in there and got his hands on the ball but batted it down. So it's 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats at the Crandall Pirate 49-yard line.
Wildcats still trailing by 17 here in the third quarter, 37-20. Sulphur Springs does have the ball. Again, they are at Crandall's 49-yard line. So let's see what they can do here. And he hands it off to J.J. Hall, who quickly makes it through the line and is just as quickly taken down by a couple of Pirate defenders and gets about 3 yards on the rush. So it will be a 3rd and 7, another 3rd and long for the Wildcats offense.
It's crunch time again. The Wildcats need to keep this ball moving, and they're going to be looking for a big play. We've got Landon Fields here on the near side. We're looking for a big pass. I've got, let's see, over on the far side, I've got Weston Fields. I've got somebody else in the slot here on the move, number 5.
And Matthew Mitchell looking for the screen, and he gets it to C.J. Williams on a nice vertical to get the ball, but he is taken down behind the line. But some Crandall Pirate defenders were a little too overzealous with their tackling, and now they will be called for an unsportsmanlike penalty.
Well, possibly good news for the Wildcats there, as they lost.
Number 5, Green. This is his first unsportsmanlike conduct. He's blocking the ball. He's going to 15 yards. 4th down.
And it looks like they're going to call that against the Wildcats, unsportsmanlike conduct. I think he was frustrated with, he came down with the ball and then just couldn't get any yardage, and I think he spiked the ball after the play was over. So a huge 15-yard penalty. 4th and 23 yards now to go. So, of course, it's punt time for the Wildcats.
So Santa Cruz and the punt team about ready to get the snap and send it the other way. They'd be best advised not to kick it to Luke Moffitt. But looks like a Pirate defender got in on Santa Cruz's kick and affected the trajectory a bit, so it didn't make it very far. It looks like maybe it made about 15 yards on the punt.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good field position for the Crandall Pirates, as looks like they're going to mark the ball. Well, they're backing it up. Still going to be in their own territory, and it's going to be kind of familiar territory here. They started most of their drives from between the 35 and 40-yard line. Looks like they're going to put it. No, we've got a penalty. So they're going to mark off another 15 yards. Unsportsmanlike conduct. I didn't see what caused that penalty. That's going to put the ball 36-yard line for Crandall. So they've got kind of familiar territory.
So hands it off to number 24. That's Chris Abram, and he's able to break a few tackles and make it about 8 yards forward. So a nice, impressive 8-yard rush to start the drive for Crandall, and it will be a 2nd and 2 coming up for the Pirates.
Well, the emotions are running high on both sides of the ball here as the Crandall Pirates come quickly back up to the line of scrimmage for their 2nd and 2.
And he's looking right to his tight end, Samuel Omosigo, and he breaks a tackle. 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, breaks another tackle. 10, 5, touchdown Crandall. So just like that, the Crandall Pirates have scored again.
A 63-yard pass and run there by number 7 as the Crandall Pirates line up very quickly for their looks like they're going to go for another 2-point conversion. They don't need, the math doesn't add up that they need a 2-point conversion right now, but I think they're just practicing.
So rolling right, then rolling left. He's got a man all alone in the end zone, and he's got the 2-point try, but there is a flag on the play.
Some more laundry on the field, and I'm not sure if that's going to be a hold against the offense on that one. Let's see. Was that ineligible receiver? So 5-yard penalty for another try. We'll see if they'll go for 2 points again or if they'll bring the kicker in. This Crandall team, you just can't tell.
So it looks like they have indeed brought the kicker on the field, and so they will try the extra point, and if it's good, it will put the Crandall Pirates ahead by 24 over the Wildcats. Kicks up. And it bounces off the upright, so some PAT issues on this game tonight, but the score remains at a 23-point lead for the Crandall Pirates over Sulphur Springs here on homecoming.
5:16 left in the third quarter. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment. And we're back at Gerald Prem Stadium. Unfortunately, the Wildcats are having a very difficult second half where the Crandall Pirates have put some unanswered points on the board as the Wildcats come out on the field to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. So let's see, it was 29-20 at the half, Ross. So the 14 points on the board there for the Crandall Pirates, and the Wildcats have not been able to get into the end zone. So it's really time to make something happen. 5:16 left in the third quarter. There's plenty of ball game left, but they're going to have to break the momentum of this Crandall Pirate team.
Yeah, and it won't be easy, as you were just mentioning moments ago, as the Crandall Pirates kick the ball away to the Wildcats. The Wildcats not only trailed at one point 29-20, but they led in the first half 20-8. So 35 unanswered points up to this point by the Crandall Pirates since then.
Yes, and as the Wildcats fielded that ball about their own 17-yard line, it looked like the kickoff was going to go out of bounds, and then I think that was Landon Fields that fielded that ball, and I think he stepped right out of bounds as soon as he got the ball. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats on their own 17-yard line. It's the Hooten's Hardware first down. Hooten's Hardware, Emory, Texas, one of our play-by-play sponsors here for many years of Wildcat football.
Mitchell gets the snap, hands it off to Roland, who quickly takes off in between right up the gut, and he gets about 5 or 6 yards on the rush, so not a bad start to this drive. Wildcats still trailing big.
Malachi Rowland having a pretty good game. The scoreboard doesn't reflect that for the Wildcats, but really impressed with his effort tonight. And every time he gets the ball, he does not stop.
No, he sure does not. And it's a sight for sore eyes as J.J. Hall gets the ball and immediately is swarmed up by some defenders for Crandall, and it will be at least a 2-yard loss on the rush.
Yeah, it seems like every time Malachi Rowland gets the ball, it's going to take 3 or 4 Pirates to get him down to the ground. So really has a lot of effort. He's still in the game. And over here we've got the receivers have doubled up on the near side. We've got Landon Fields, and we've got 48. Now they're tripled up now. So another big third down coming.
crowding the line of scrimmage, the Crandall Pirates are, and he's looking at Weston Fields deep, and he's got him. So they go from about the 20-yard line all the way up to the Wildcat 46-yard line.
A great catch, a great throw. They had tripled up the receivers here on the near side, and Weston Fields came across from the far side, across the middle, and just a beautiful pass. They connected, and it's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
So just over 3.5 minutes to go, Wildcats have the football. Matthew Mitchell rolling left, and he tries to get it out to Landon Fields, but he had some Crandall Pirate defenders all up in his grill from the get-go, so he's not able to get a clean pass, and it will be an incompletion.
Right. He was kind of passing on the run there and just couldn't connect with Landon Fields. The ball was a little short. 2nd and 10. We're going to call this the Hootens Hardware second down. And from the 47-yard line in Wildcat territory. They're just trying to get over the line here.
Hands it off to Malachi Rowland, who is able to break around one defender, but then is quickly tackled at the line of scrimmage, so no gain on the rush, and a 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats offense as they trail by 23 to the Crandall Pirates, under 3.5 to go in the third.
Yeah, big 3rd down play yet again for the Wildcats, and I'm looking for more receivers to come in. I've got Landon Fields here on the near side, Weston Fields on the far side, and we've got also, I guess it's C.J. Williams in and on the far side.
3rd and 10 for the Wildcats offense on the Wildcat 47, and the play is blown dead.
It's not a good sign for the Wildcats. Probably going to be a false start.
Have a false start. Silver Springs, number 5. Be a 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Another 5-yard penalty against the Wildcats. It's going to be a very big and very long 3rd and 15 for the Wildcats as they get pushed back to their own 42-yard line.
So 3rd and 15. Wildcats dealing with a 3rd and long. Fakes the handoff to Malachi Rowland, and he's looking deep to Landon Fields, who's deep, but is tripped up by some defenders of the Crandall Pirates. He's looking for a penalty, but he will not get it. So 4th and 15 for the Wildcats offense, and the punt team coming on the field.
Yes, that looked like that probably could have been some pass interference from the press box here. That would be a penalty flag thrown from all the way up here, but we didn't get it, so that's going to be a tough break for the Wildcats. It's going to be punt time, and Mr. Santa Cruz, who's had a lot of game time tonight, and looks like we're going to get a timeout called, I guess. Yes, Crandall has called a timeout on 4th down for the Wildcats, so not sure what they saw there. We're going to take a very quick break, and we'll be back with you in just a moment.
Welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium as we've got the 3rd quarter of homecoming football for the Wildcats football team as they host the Crandall Pirates, and the wheels have kind of come off this Wildcat football team as, again, I mentioned before we went to commercial break earlier, that the Wildcats at one point led 20-8, and since then the Crandall Pirates have scored 35 unanswered points to lead 43-20 over the Wildcats football team, and even more unfortunately, the Wildcats are about set to punt it away right back to the Pirates. Santa Cruz gets the snap, kick is away, and goes takes a nice Wildcat bounce all the way inside the Crandall 15-yard line. It will roll out of bounds at right around the Crandall 12-yard line. So that's where the Pirates will start with the ball on their next possession.
And so that punt took a great roll for the Wildcats as it went deeper and deeper into Pirate territory. And this is going to be probably the worst field position, the worst start for the Crandall Pirates as they're pushed all the way back to, looks like they're going to mark that on the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Pirates.
Let's see if the Crandall Pirates can get another explosive play like the one that they had on their last drive, which went 63 yards to the house, and on a sweep to the right, the number 5, the running back, is able to break a number of tackles and makes it all the way up to the 26-yard line of Crandall. About a 13-yard rush for the Pirate.
In other district action, the Greenville Lions were defeated by the Ennis Lions 28-0, so that game we got over quickly.
Jamonte Gordon-West hands it off to Andrew Anderson, who takes off, is able to break a couple of tackles, but won't be able to get much more as he's tackled right around the line of scrimmage. No yardage gained on the rush.
Also, the cross-city rivalry over there in Forney is a low-scoring game. There's not much time left in that game. It's 15-7. The Forney High School over North Forney, 15-7.
2nd and 10 for Crandall. Fakes the handoff and takes it straight up the gut for 10 yards. Wow, 11 yards on the QB rush from Jamonte Gordon-West. And unfortunately, that's what we saw from the scouting report this week, was that he is a good runner and passer. And the running backs, Chris Abram, number 24, downhill runner and good vision with good hands, and Andrew Anderson, number 22, and young and as good as his role. And we've seen both of them plenty tonight. As Jamonte Gordon-West passes it out to number 1, Luke Moffitt, on the near sideline. He's able to get about 5 yards before being pushed out of bounds, so it will be a 2nd and 5 for this Pirate offense. Under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Pirates lead 43-20 with the ball. 2nd and 5 upcoming. Hands it off to number 4, and actually he keeps it, and he's got nothing but green grass. 45, 40, 35, and he's pushed out of bounds, or rather walks out of bounds on his own volition at about the Wildcat 31-yard line. So a 36-yard rush for quarterback Jamonte Gordon-West.
A huge run there, and momentum is just still building for this Crandall team.
And he hands it off on the shovel pass to number 22 running outside, and he takes it to the near sideline and is able to get about 4 more yards on the rush on 1st and 10. The clock will keep running, under 30 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter, as the Crandall Pirates are once again knocking on the doorstep of the Sulphur Springs end zone.
They're going to run a play before the quarter ends.
And fakes the handoff to Andrew Anderson. He's looking deep. Number 1's in the end zone, and he's got it. That's a touchdown. Touchdown, Crandall.
My goodness. Well, it looked like the ball bounced when he caught it, but a big, long pass, about a 30-yard reception for the Crandall Pirates, and they put 6 more points on the board. 49-20. They come up, and looks like they're going to kick it this time. 5 seconds left in the quarter.
Extra point kick coming up. And that one's good. So for the first time in what seems like a while, we have a good extra point attempt.
Yes, that puts the Pirates over the Wildcats 50-20 with only 5 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to Wildcat football here in just a minute. And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium, where the Wildcats are down 50-20 with only 5 seconds left in the third quarter. Ross, the first half was going very well for the Wildcats, and I don't think that there have really been any changes other than the Crandall Pirates have just kind of dialed up more of the same, and they've been able to put 21 points on the board unanswered in this second half as the Wildcats are back to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff.
Yeah, a tough recent turn of events, just as you were saying. The Wildcats at one point led, as I mentioned earlier, 20-8, and since then, the Crandall Pirates have been on a crusade to victory, scoring 42 straight to lead 50-20 as the third quarter is just about set to end as Landon Fields gets the kickoff, starts to turn field, and is able to make it around a couple of defenders, able to make it around a few more before being taken out by at least 6 Pirate defenders at about the Wildcat 25-yard line as the third quarter comes to an end.
We'll switch into the field, and when we come back, we'll see what the Wildcats can get going. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a second.
Welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium as we are about set to begin the fourth quarter here on homecoming as the Wildcat football team trailed the Crandall Pirates, their district foe, big here, 50-20 entering the fourth quarter. And definitely not how you envisioned opening district play, leading at one point 20-8 and then giving up 42 unanswered. We've still got a whole another quarter to go, so hopefully the Wildcats can make that final score a bit more respectable. But as it stands now, the Wildcats are on track for their fourth loss in as many games. So we'll see what the Wildcat offense can do now with quarterback Matthew Mitchell behind center again. And he hands it off to, I believe that's either Malachi Rowland or J.J. Hall. I believe that's J.J. Hall, but either way, he's able to get about 14 yards on the rush for a first down.
Yep, J.J. Hall on the run, and gets up to about the Wildcat 41-yard line at Hooten's Hardware first down, 1st and 10. If they can get this first down, they'll be into Pirate territory. So Wildcats are back up to the line of scrimmage. They're going to try to get something moving very quickly.
So on the new set of downs, 1st and 10, Matthew Mitchell hands it off again, and that time to J.J. Hall, and nowhere near as successful as this on this rush as on the last one. He got about 14 yards on this one, a mere 2. So 2nd and 8 coming up for the Wildcats football team.
Wildcats in the final quarter here, 11:21 left in the ball game, moving left to right now.
Mitchell gets the snap. He's looking deep, but he's got Pirates in his face. Will he get it to Weston Fields? He will, as he gets it across the Crandall side of the field at about the 49-yard line.
I have to say it again, the maturity that Mitchell is showing by scrambling. He had 2 defenders coming after him. He just kept rolling out and passed the ball, and Weston Fields pulled it right in. Inbounds, first down. Wildcats, the Hooten's Hardware first down. They're in Pirate territory now. I mean, they've got a lot of good things going here. I know the scoreboard doesn't reflect it right now, Ross, but that was a very impressive play.
It sure was, and Weston Fields comes out on the play, so Adam Peckham subs in, but doesn't matter because they'll hand it off to J.J. Hall, and just like on the previous rush from Hall, he's not able to get much on that play, and he'll get about a yard, so it will be a 2nd and 9 for this Wildcat offense. Go ahead.
One of the Pirates shaking up on the play, but he popped right back up. He's staying in the game. He doesn't want to go out. The coach over on the sideline is kind of arguing. It looks like a number 8 there, so he's staying in the ball game. 2nd and 9 for the Wildcats.
Mitchell gets the snap, looking over to Weston Fields, and he gets him. 40, 35. He's able to break another tackle. 25, 20. Able to break another tackle. 15, 10, 5. And he's pushed out of bounds inside the Crandall 5-yard line. So an over 40-yard reception from Weston Fields.
Fantastic effort by Weston Fields as he dodged at least 4 or 5 defenders for the Pirates and finally got pushed out of bounds. I guess that was number 7 who's been playing both ways, or maybe that was number 2. No, number 7's out there too. I believe it's number 7 who finally caught up with him and pushed him out of bounds. So it's 1st and goal for the Wildcats on the 4-yard line.
So we'll see what they can do in their first opportunity in the red zone in the second half. C.J. Williams gets the direct snap in the Wildcat formation. He's able to make it about maybe 2 yards on the rush. So they'll say he just got 1 on the rush. So it will be at the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal for the Wildcats offense.
Looked like maybe he lost the ball, but I'm sure maybe the ball was the play was blown dead. But either way, it's going to be 2nd down for the Wildcats, 2nd and goal, and about the 3-yard line. So 3 to go. Wildcats really need to push it into the end zone to get something going.
2nd and goal from the 3. Mitchell hands it off to J.J. Hall, who makes an athletic spin, and it will be stopped just shy of the goal line at about the 1, maybe half-yard line. So a 3rd and goal coming up. Just inches to go for the Wildcats offense to put the ball in the end zone with under 9.5 to go here in the game.
9:13 left in the ball game.
3rd and goal from the 1. Wildcats offense tries to get in the end zone. He hands it off to J.J. Hall, who's going to the far sideline, and he gets in for a touchdown.
Fantastic effort by J.J. Hall as Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats as they put 6 points on the board. It's going to make it.
That penalty's going to be declined.
There was
So the play is a touchdown.
There was a penalty against the Crandall Pirates, but that penalty is declined, as we would expect, and so the touchdown stands. 26-50. The Wildcats finally been able to put 6 more points on the board in the second half. Looks like they're going for 2. You think?
I believe so. Quarterback Matthew Mitchell is still in there.
Yeah.
And they've got C.J. Williams in the slot on the near side. Outside on the same side, near sideline, is Adam Peckham. And then on the far sideline, we've got Cable Glenn. Matthew Mitchell looking right. And he's got C.J. Williams in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So the 2-point conversion try is good. The Wildcats now trail by 22 to the Crandall Pirates with just over 9 to go.
Yes, it's going to be time for another J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. We're going to take a quick break. With 9:04 left in the ball game, it's 28-50. The Wildcats 28, the Pirates 50. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in a moment.
And welcome back to Gerald Prim Stadium as the Wildcats are able to go 74 yards down the field in just under 3 minutes to get a touchdown, their first touchdown in the second half and first points in the second half. And we're able to get a touchdown and the 2-point conversion attempt was good on the pass for Matthew Mitchell to C.J. Williams in the end zone. So the Sulphur Springs Wildcats now trail 50-28 on homecoming with just over 9 minutes to go in the game.
Where the Wildcats are coming out for the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff, I would be looking for an onside kick from Coach Owens on this, but I'm not sure if they fail at that attempt, if they want to give the Crandall Pirates such good field position of what an onside kick will give them. But let's see what Coach Owens has got dialed up for Mr. Santa Cruz here as he's got the ball teed up for the kickoff.
And onside kick it is. And wow, the Wildcats come down with it.
Fantastic. For some reason, the Pirates are saying that they're going to get the ball, but they never touched it. It went 10 yards, And I think they're trying to say that a Wildcat touched it before it went 10 yards, but a fantastic execution from what we saw, right, Ross?
I agree, and maybe they're discussing right now if the ball made it the 10 yards it needs to for the onside kick. And, well, the call will stand, Wildcats football, and it will be just about at midfield, if not maybe in Crandall territory. So, just as Chad was saying, a great execution on the onside kick attempt to put the Wildcats in a decent position to get back in this game.
First down, Crandall.
Yep, they're calling it first down Crandall. So, another example of why we should be officiating. They're going to put the ball all the way back to the Wildcat 44-yard line, and they're going to give Crandall the ball on that. We'll have to watch the tape and clear that one up at a later date.
So starting from the Wildcat 44-yard line, hand it off to Andrews Anderson. He's able to break a tackle, 25-20, and he's pushed out of bounds at the Wildcat 15-yard line.
Yes, thank goodness for Silman pushing him out of bounds, or that he was about to take that to the house. A big, huge run. Gets all the way down to the Wildcat looks like the 17-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for Crandall.
Pirates get the ball, hands it off to Andrews Anderson, and he's just bellowing his way through the Wildcat defense as he makes it at least 10 yards. Looks like 11 yards on the rush, but there is a flag down on the play.
Have a personal foul, face mask, number 44, blue, should be half the distance to the goal, first down.
Another unfortunate call for the Wildcats. The attention, the emotions are running high, and it's going to be half the distance to the goal, so that's going to give fantastic field position for the Crandall Pirates as it's 1st and goal on the 4.
And he fakes the handoff. Jamonte Gordon-West takes it in himself for another touchdown for the Pirates.
8:39 left in the ball game as the Crandall Pirates put 6 more points on the board, 56-28, and they're going to come out. Looks like they're going to kick it this time. You never know with this Crandall team. They even when they don't need 2 points, it's not like they want to practice 2 points. But now they're going to give their kicker a little time out here. Number 17's come in to kick the ball. It's 56-28. They're going to try to make it a little bit more than double over these Wildcats.
Kick is up by the Pirates, and it's good. So the PAT attempt is good, and the Crandall Pirates now lead by 19, 57-28. No, I'm sorry, that's 29, 57-28 with just over 8.5 to go here in the game.
Right, the scoreboard keeper, the scorekeeper here at the stadium was trying to help us out a little bit, but 57-28, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. And we're back at Gerald Prim Stadium where the Wildcats are having a very difficult second half. They're down 57-28. This Crandall team, this offense, Ross, has just been unstoppable in the second half. And I can't say that that they've done anything different, but just done more of the same. They're very quick. They haven't let up. I think they've worn down the Wildcat defense just a little bit. The J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff, we have Wildcats back to receive that, and the kick is deep. And
that's, I believe, number 6 out there who caught that. Yep, that's Colby Albritton on the kick return, and he's able to make it probably 10 yards on the return.
Pretty good return. It's going to put the Wildcats on their own 36-yard line for their Hootens Hardware first down. They've got a lot of a lot to make up. 8:36 left in this ball game. 57-28. It's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats on their own. Well, they're going to mark it about the 36-yard line. The guys with the sticks over there need to line up.
Mitchell gets the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls right, gets it out to number 48. That's Matthew Clark on the reception, his first reception of the game, and that's a first down for the Wildcats.
Great play and good. A lot of maturity shown by the Mitchell, the quarterback, scrambling, rolling out, throwing on the fly there, and just like that, it's 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line for this Hootens Hardware first down for the Wildcats.
So with the new set of downs, we'll see what the Wildcats can do. Matthew Mitchell fakes the handoff to number 3 Douglas Deloney, escapes the pressure, escapes the pocket, and is moving left, and he makes it all the way over to the far sideline and gets about 5 yards on the rush before he is both tackled and pushed out of bounds at the Crandall 45-yard line.
Yeah, kind of a big tackle there on the sideline, but he pops right up. He's coming back into the game. It's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats. They're now into Pirate territory on the Crandall 45-yard line, coming up to the line quickly. They've got a lot of time a lot to make up and not much time to do it.
So Mitchell hands it off to Douglas Deloney, and he changes direction and is able to get through a couple of Crandall defenders, but that's all he can manage to do as he gets about 4 yards on the rush, just under 7.5 to go here in the game.
Very good turnaround there by Deloney as he just saw that he was not going to go far one way, so he just turned around, ran the other, and got a couple of yards, but it's going to be 3rd and about 2 yards for the Wildcats.
So instead of snapping the ball, Mitchell wanted to check back with his sideline and get a different play perhaps on the audible. So with the audible, he'll hand it off to Douglas Deloney, who's able to barrel his way through some defenders and is able to get, well, about close to 10 yards, if not 10 yards on the rush. So we'll give the Wildcats a new set of downs under 7 minutes to go here in the game. They still trail by 29.
Puts the Wildcats on the Pirate 31-yard line for their Hootens Hardware first down. 1st and 10 from the 31, and they're coming up to the line of scrimmage quickly because the clock is ticking down. 6.5 to go.
Mitchell gets the snap, looking left. He passes it out to Landon Fields on the far sideline. He is not able to escape a Pirate defender, so he will be tackled down at the spot of the catch, and he's able to get about 3 yards on the reception before being taken down. So maybe 2nd and 7, if not 2nd and 8 incoming for the Wildcats offense.
Wildcats 2nd and 8.
Mitchell gets the snap, looking over to believe that's C.J. Williams, or no, that's number 14.
And then a flag on the play. It was probably thrown way back here in the backfield, so I guess it's going to be a holding call against the Wildcats. Let's see.
We have an illegal man downfield for Sulphur Springs, 5-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
No, it's going to be an illegal receiver downfield for the Wildcats, so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Wildcats. Back it up. It's going to be 2nd and 13. Pushes the Wildcats back to the Crandall 34-yard line, and going to make a 2nd and very long for the Wildcats. 2nd and 13.
Mitchell fakes the handoff to Douglas Deloney, who's blocking for him, and he dishes it out to C.J. Williams in tight coverage, who's able to come down with it, and it's taking him, well, 3 Pirate defenders to pull him down, but not without getting the first down for the Wildcats.
And they actually never pulled him down. He kept fighting and kept moving, but I guess the official thought he wasn't making any more forward progress, so they blew the whistle, and first down for the Wildcats right at the red zone on the 20-yard line. Hootens Hardware first down on the 20-yard line.
1st and 10 coming up for the Wildcats. He hands it off to, I believe that's, J.J. Hall, if not Malachi Rowland, who's able to get just about to the end zone. If not, he'll be called out at the 1-yard line of Crandall.
Yes, and that's Malachi Rowland. Great run and just got pushed out right about the 1 yard line. And so it's going to be 1st and goal again for the Wildcats down here. Man, it looks like they're going to spot it about the 1.5 yard line. But great opportunity for the Wildcats to put some more points on the board and maybe another onside kick.
We'll see what they can do on a 1st and goal situation from the 1 yard line. He fakes the handoff and takes it in himself for a touchdown. Very impressive play there.
Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats, as Mitchell runs it in himself and puts 6 points on the board. That's 34 for the Wildcats, 57 for the Pirates, and then we have an extra point opportunity coming up here for the Wildcats. Let's see what they're going to do. Everybody's staying in. I don't see Mr. Santa Cruz out there yet, so looks like they're going to go for the 2 points. Malachi Rowland's in. Looks like, yep.
Mitchell rolling right, and he's looking at, I believe that's Weston Fields in the end zone, but he had a Pirate defender wrapped all over him to break up the pass, so the 2-point try is no good, and the Wildcats trail by 23 here at Gerald Prim Stadium on homecoming, 57-34.
4:52 left in the ball game. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment. Play-by-play action brought to you by Hooten's Hardware, Farm Country Inc., CPI Imaging, Christus Mother Frances Hospital, and Saputo Foods of Sulphur Springs. And we're back at Gerald Prim Stadium. 4:52 left in the ball game. The Wildcats put 6 more points on the board and could not connect on the 2-point conversion. I would say pass interference, but the officials with the little yellow flags down on the field say differently. So that stands 34-57. The Wildcats come out for the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. The Crandall Pirates just one receiver back to receive, as they're expecting an onside kick from the Wildcats, as I am, because the Wildcats need to get the ball back quickly and put some more points on the board. A well-executed onside kick before, but a little short, apparently, and Crandall ended up getting the ball, even though they never possessed the ball. But they called, I guess they called that the Wildcats touched it before the 10 yards. And so, anyway, here comes the Wildcat kickoff.
Another onside kick incoming. And a nice block there by one of the Wildcat defenders, or Wildcat offenders on that play, but would not quite be enough, as the Crandall Pirates are able to come down with it, and they will keep the ball after the attempted onside kick by the Wildcats.
Yeah, fantastic block, and the ball had gone the 10 yards, and there was a Wildcat right there to get it, but a Crandall Pirate got to it just a little bit quicker, so they're going to have their 1st and 10 about on their own 49-yard line, so they've just got a yard to go to get back into Wildcat territory. Let's see what the defense has got dialed up here on the Wildcat side for these Crandall Pirates.
First play on the drive from Crandall, and looks like they've got their reserves in now, as this is a player we have not called yet tonight. I believe that's, number 27 for the Pirates, and that is Nasiah Jackson, the running back and linebacker.
And number 1 and was for quarterback there for the Pirates on that play. I think they're keeping him in as well, so a change from their superstar quarterback. So Luke Moffitt is now going to take a few snaps as quarterback for the Pirates.
Crandall hands it off, and I believe that's the same running back again, Nasiah Jackson. who gets the handoff, and he's able to get the first down yardage on a 2nd and short at 2nd and 3.
3:57 and counting on the game clock. The Pirates over the Wildcats 57-34. They're well into Wildcat territory on the Wildcat 39-yard line for their 1st and 10 as they were able to come up with that onside kick.
And a handoff there by Crandall, and he's able to get about 3 yards on the rush on 1st and 10, so it will be a 2nd and 7 incoming, and by the time they get this next play off, we should be within 3 minutes of the final of this game.
Luke Moffitt still in as quarterback for the Crandall Pirates, giving their other quarterback a much-needed rest. I'm sure he scrambled a lot during this game. Be interesting to see the final stats on this game. Some high numbers posted by Crandall, of course, as they come back up to the line of scrimmage.
Moffitt gets the snap, hands it off to Nasai Jackson, who's able to barrel his way forward for about 8 or 9 yards on the rush, maybe even 10 on that one. And so we'll give the Pirates a new set of downs, about 2.5 minutes to go here in the game.
They'll move the sticks, and the clock will start back up as that run, and 2:33 left in the ball game. The Pirates taking their time getting up to the line of scrimmage, letting the clock run down, maybe trying some different plays here. They've got some different personnel in on the line. As 76, I haven't seen him in the ball game. They come up for their 1st and 10. 2:15 left in the ball game.
Moffitt gets the low snap. He hands it off to Nasai Jackson again, who's once again able to barrel his way forward, but this time for not as much yardage as he gets about 2 yards on the rush. 2 minutes to go here in the game.
Again, taking their time. The defense for the Wildcats, unfortunately, worn down at this point. They've had 57 points scored against them. Very close ball game in the first half, but just seemed that the Crandall Pirates made a lot better adjustments during halftime, and they were able to dial it up and put some more points on the board. 57-34 with 1:44 left in the ball game. 2nd down.
Hands it off to number 22, who's able to punch his way up the gut for about 3 yards on the rush, so 1.5 to go here in the game as plays are winding down on this game of homecoming between the Sulphur Springs Wildcats and the Crandall Pirates. So a 3rd and medium for this Pirate offense. 3rd and 4 from the Wildcat 21. So one more positive play and they can end this drive in the Wildcat red zone. But looks like they're just going to continue winding down the clock. This will most likely be the last play of the game here coming up. Moffitt set for the snap for Crandall. He gets it, and he hands it off yet again, and he punches his way up the gut. He hurdles a Wildcat defender before being tackled at about the Wildcat 11-yard line, but it looks like there's a fumble on the play as both teams are huddled up right next to the ball, but it will stay with the Pirates as Crandall players start going back to their sideline.
Yeah, and they're moving the sticks to stop the clock for a little bit as they move the sticks because it was a 1st down. A lot of athleticism from that running back, hurdling one of the Wildcat defenders. They finally brought him down. It's 1st and 10 on the Wildcat 13-yard line. They're taking their time. 30 seconds left in the ball game. Looks like they're just going to
victory formation here. Yep, and Luke Moffitt, the backup quarterback for the Pirates, takes the knee, and that will do it here on homecoming as the Wildcats football team just could not keep up with the track meet-like offense that the Crandall Pirates possess, and with a 57-34 loss here on homecoming to the Crandall Pirates in both teams' district opener. So with that, the Wildcats football team will drop to 0-4 on the season and 0-1 in district. A tough way to open the district season, Chad.
Yes, unfortunately for the Wildcats, it started off very, very good, very impressive, but they were just outgunned by this Crandall Pirate team, who now goes to their record's 3-1. But more importantly, the district records is for the Wildcats is 0-1. So we'll see you here back next week. As Wildcat football continues. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, just a tough loss. Very close game last week, and this was a very close game this week in the first half, but just kind of fell apart for the Wildcats in the second half. So that's going to do it for us from Gerald Prim Stadium, Wildcat football. For everybody helping us put this on the air back at the studio, Matt Jansen on the board tonight, filling in for James Terry. Of course, Ross Lubinsky on your play-by-play. I'm Chad Young for your color commentary, and Doug Hastings will have the replay of the game on YouTube as well. And don't miss the coaches show tomorrow to see what the coaches have to say. Ross will be in the studio tomorrow morning for the coaches show. That's going to do it for us here from Gerald Prim Stadium. Thanks for tuning in, and good night.
Thank you, sir.
All right.